I say, push back the heartache. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Fun. Check 1 2, check 1 2. All right, y'all, we are live. Zach is in the building. What's up, Zach? How you feeling today? How you feeling? How you feeling? Let me get this set up right here. Let's get all this lined up. Francesco's in the building. Union's in here. Robbie's in here. Viral's in here. Martin's in the building. Y'all, thank y'all so much for tapping into the stream today. I appreciate y'all dropping by. Union, Chandler, thanks for tapping into the stream as well. If y'all are coming in over on any of the platforms right now, if you're over on TikTok, thank you so much for stopping by the stream. If y'all are coming in for the first time over on TikTok, XOK, thanks for tapping in as well. If you're coming in over on TikTok, Robbie, thank you for showing up. Make sure y'all are liking the live, share out the live with a few people. Jordy, thanks for tapping in. If you're coming in for the first time to Track Talk, let me know where you are joining from, as well as if you make music, what kind of music that you make. Defector's in the building. What's up, Defector? Y'all, welcome into the stream. Welcome into the stream. I'll explain everything here in just 5 to 10 minutes or so. I just want to show up here for a minute, say what's up to y'all, talk to y'all for a little bit, chat for a minute. My first time here, I'm from Norwich in the UK. Let's go. Shout out to Robbie. Robbie, thank you so much for tapping in today. Do you make music, Robbie? Let me know. Is it Jardy? Let me know. Thank you for tapping into the stream as well. I make rock music mostly. Beautiful, beautiful. How long have you been doing that? Joseph's in the chat. What's up, Joseph? Fred's in here. What's up, Fred? Is it Clute? Thank you for Ohio State and Clute's AK. Thanks for tapping in as well. Welcome to the stream, y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. Once again, if you were coming in, Joseph, are you really from, man, are you serious? You're from Norwich as well? What are the odds? What are the odds? What are the odds? Fred, thanks for liking the live. I appreciate you so much. What are the odds that 2 people of the 6 people in here happen to be from Norwich as well? That's amazing. Ashley, thanks for joining in as well. Grounded Joy, thanks for tapping into the stream today. Once again, if y'all are coming in for the first time, let me know where you're joining from. I want to talk to y'all for a little bit before we get into some music later on. And Joseph, are you trolling? Are you trolling? Are you the same person? Is this identity theft? What's going on? Identity theft's not a joke. No, I'm just kidding. Theo, thanks for tapping in as well. Thanks for tapping in. Julie's in the building. Julie, thanks for tapping in as well. Probably like 15 years now, different bands and projects. Beautiful. Fred is Northwest Ohio here. Welcome in, Fred. I'm so glad you're here. Ashley's from Buffalo, New York. It's good to see you, Ashley. Thanks for tapping in. Grounded Joy is from Michigan. Let's go. I hope y'all are doing amazing today. Once again, if you do make music, let me know what kind. If you've already answered that, talk to me about how long you've been making music. What inspires you? Is there anything in particular you would love for me to know or you'd love to chat about today? Theo, I'll get into the music here in just a little bit. Wubsy's in the building over on the Purple app. Wubsy, it's so good to see you, man. Thanks for joining the stream today. I hope you're doing fantastic today, or as fantastic as you have the capacity to feel. Sudden Death is in the building as well. Matthew James, welcome back into the live stream as well. Mac, thanks for tapping in. Wubsy said I've been making music for like 2 days. I know it's been many, many more days than that. Let me see. Let me just make sure that I'm caught up as we're going through some stuff here. Thank y'all so much for tapping into the stream. If you're over on TikTok, make sure that you are liking the live, share out the live with a few people. If you wouldn't mind sending your heart me for the day, it does really help out the live stream. So I really appreciate that so much. Mac's in the building. Hey, man, could you listen to my song on SoundCloud, Stand There Watching by Mac? And then is it Magoo? Thank you so much for tapping in. I'm seeing some names pop up as we get going. Sudden, thanks for tapping in. Theo said, I make smooth R&B, acoustic music, as well as gritty, bass, heavy R&B too. Ooh, I like it. We got some variety in the R&B space, which is beautiful. Janko's welcome in. Yeah, if y'all want to submit, I'll get into that here in just a few minutes. I want to chat just for the next, 3 to 5 minutes or something like that. And then we'll get into the consultations and stuff that we do here in a minute. We'll listen to a couple songs. I'm not going to be on for very long today. So I'm talking like I'll probably listen to like 4 to 5 songs, something like that. 4 to 5 songs. It's not going to be, and for those of you who have been here before, you might know a little bit about what we do. If you've never been here before, you know that that's still a long time. Every song that people send in, we take generally around 30 minutes per track. These are deep dive consultations on the structure of your music. So we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. I just want to chat it up for a second before we get into Sheldor's in the building. Yo, Sheldor, what's up? Thanks for tapping in. Would love to hear. Yeah, absolutely, Robbie. Yeah, I'll open up the lines. I'll put everything on the platforms here in just 2 minutes. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. Let me just get everything rolling here for a second, and then I promise y'all I will explain the whole structure. I've got a spiel that I do every time. Every time we get on here, I have a very distinct spiel to let everybody know what in the world happens to be going on here at Track Talk. I don't think I've ever heard of Halloween, Sheldor. I don't believe so. Death. Ooh, let's go. We always get a lot of variety in here, which is one of my favorite things about the stream. When we do get into the consultations here in a second, y'all will see, but these are very, very nuanced, very, very detailed consultations that we get into. So we tend to get a lot of variety because it's not a DJ Launchpad. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. And hey there to you as well. There's no genre bias or anything like that. We're going to listen to a very, very large variety. Wubsy said, I only make AI music. It's so funny because I know that he's pretty staunchly, has a pretty contrasted opinion to that. DJ, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that a lot. Is it Nenny? Thank you, or Nenny Mac? Thank you so much. I hope I'm saying your names right. If I am, please correct me. Please correct me. I don't want to be saying those names wrong. So if I butcher your name, correct me as many times as you need to get me to say it right. How I wish you were wrong. Marika, I'm going to tell you all of the details here in just a moment as well. Let's give it another like 2 minutes for things to just keep flowing here and get to know y'all a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and dive into the details of how you submit to this live stream and stuff like that. And kind of the structure of what we do. DJ Launchpad, thank you so much for the hand hearts as well. That means so much to me. I appreciate the generosity. That means a lot. And Robbie, thank you so much for the follow. That means a lot as well, man. Thank you for that. Ashley said, how do you feel about Youngblood? I don't have any like strong feelings towards Youngblood. I'm not incredibly familiar. Samo, good to see you, man. I'm not incredibly, I have heard some of his stuff. I would probably assume just the popular stuff that I see on social media and our top of the playlist and stuff like that. But I'm not like an OG early fan or something where I could tell you a whole lot of nuance to it. But let me know if there's something, if there's someone that you're really into or you take inspiration from. I'd be interested to know about that. Kian's in the building. What's up, Kian? Let me catch up on some messages here really, really quick. AK Manu, thanks for tapping in. He said, hey there, I've been researching. They're over on the Purple app, by the way, y'all. Let's see. I've been researching for quite a while on something maybe overlooked, but perhaps a lot of us struggle with. How do you deal with perfectionism? I'm literally not allowing myself to sound bad in order to improve. I start something, it doesn't reach the level I want, as I genuinely believe I have a good ear, then quit and start another project, and so on. Wubsy said he likes Youngblood as well, so we have some other fans of Youngblood in here as well. Samo, thank you for the shares. Samo, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for tapping in. Here's the thing that hopefully will dissolve this a little bit for you, AK. For me, perfectionism should not be the goal of your music. There is no perfect, right? There is no standard for music. There is no perfect. There is no like right or wrong when it comes to creative. Now, there's technical decisions that there's less abrasive ways to approach mixing and mastering and stuff like that, right? That are more right or wrong. They're more objective of like what tends to sound good physically to the eardrum and what doesn't, right? There's some nuance to that. Michael, thank you so much for the follow. But as far as the creative process and when it comes to producing and building out structures for songs and songwriting and stuff like that, there's not a right or wrong way to do it. And for me, the thing that people want to hear is not perfect. You know what I mean? The thing that people are looking for in music when they're like, I need to find a new cool band or a new artist that's really interesting. What they're not looking for is like a rigid, sterile, perfect band. They're looking for relatability. They're looking for authenticity. They're looking for fresh creativity. They're looking for new ideas, sonics, image, aesthetics, stuff like that. So hopefully that can even just slightly, is it Boss Man? Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hopefully that dissolves that a little bit. I think the perfectionism side, it's different when you're approaching it on the technical side, right? When like mixing and mastering, there's more of a North Star of what you're trying to get out of it. But even there, a lot of the flaws and the mistakes and the human elements that come with like tracking and actually like executing real instrumentation and executing a real live vocal and stuff like that, even working within VSTs. Like I have a lot of synths here in the studio. Wubsy, welcome over. Good to see you, brother. Even here in the studio, I have a bunch of analog synths, but I also have like VSTs of a lot of the synths that I actually have here in the studio. And even in those VSCs, there's condition knobs. I have a Juno 60 plugin from Roland, a Juno 106 and 60 that I use from Roland, like from their actual plugin base, that I use all the time. And there's literally a condition knob where I can make the condition of the synth worse. Because a lot of times what people are looking for is not pristine, polished, perfect. Boss Man, thank you so much for the rose. Wubsy, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that a lot. So when it comes to perfectionism, I would err on the side of not making perfect your North Star anyways. In making something that's relatable and authentic and real, your North Star. If that's your North Star, you're going to make something interesting. And then as far as polishing quality, there's always ways to do that yourself or to hire someone else to do it. But make your North Star creativity, authenticity, fresh inspiration from things around you, and getting past a stage where you feel like I am aiming for perfect before I'm aiming for creative and interesting and authentic. And that to me, if that's your North Star, you will always make something that's fun and interesting and something you will enjoy making long term. You're talking about like quitting constantly. I start making something, I quit all the time. If your North Star is to make something that you like to make without it being strictly commercially viable or strictly perfect, like you're talking about, you are much more likely to continue to create. And if you continue to create over the long term, you will execute, with massive improvements in your craft over time as well, right? But a lot of times, if you're so frustrated with your process and like butting up against a lot of things creatively, that you're quitting constantly, you never are able to put in the amount of repetition long term to actually get excellent at those things anyways, right? So it's a little bit of a catch right there. Okay, let me double check a couple things, and we're going to get into some music here in a second. Let me just go back through some message here just really, really quick. And let me double check a few things here, y'all. And then I will give my full spiel. I'll give my full spiel here in a second, y'all. Let's see. Let me just double check a few things here. Is it Rui? Thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate it. Let me just catch up on a few messages here. Are you a fan of Chili Peppers? Yeah. Not like kind of same with the Young Blood. Like I've heard a lot of their stuff, and I appreciate what they do. Stylistically and the impact that they've had on music. But not, it's not something I listen to a lot of like 80s stuff. I listen to a lot of like dark wave, synth wave, Depeche Mode, Kavinsky, Tears for Fears, Aha, Mike Dean. That's kind of I like a lot of synth work. That to me is kind of my favorite stuff. Although I work in and listen to largely everything. I listen to a lot of different stuff and work on a lot of different stuff. But that to me is what I tend to gravitate towards in my personal consumption of music. Airmate, thanks for tapping in as well. Good to see you. Bossman's in the building. Got you. Let me just check through Aeon Design. I haven't even taken my first submission. We're just getting things rolling here. Let me see. And definitely love metal. We have a lot of people that come in here with metal, progressive metal, classic rock, anything across the board. Authentic is better than perfect. Facts. Absolute facts. Wubsy said my North Star is growing up to be like Torvik. That's crazy. I appreciate you, Wubsy. See, Milo's in the building. Milo, hi. Good to see you as well. Pff. Let's see. Just catching up. Huston, appreciate you tapping into the stream to stream as well. Okay, I think I'm pretty much caught up. Okay, it's time for some music, y'all. Actually, let me answer this over here really quick on the Purple app, and then I'll explain the entire live stream. I still don't have one track finished. Only ideas. It gets so much more frustrating. And then AK, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate that a lot. I'm Purple app, sorry, TikTok. I follow YouTube tutorials sometimes. I'm like, should I exactly what they do or apply their steps to my creation? More so that, applying their steps to your creation, not following what they do. You'll always be a mimicry of other people's creative decisions if you just follow exactly what they do. I structure my goals and sometimes I'm on my DAW without a clear goal. Ruben, yeah, I'll explain all that here in just 1 second. I'll throw up the line and all that good stuff. It's time. Sorry, I can't help it. Working in this domain when I get the ball rolling, I believe I will do very well. I think daily about this. The other thing, AK, is don't be afraid to collaborate. If you are stuck, put a fresh set of ears on what you're doing. Work with another producer. I mean, you hear all of these people, like look at the credits on a popular song. Take any genre. I mean, look at a popular metal track, someone on the top of the pop charts, modern country, hip hop, drill, EDM, across the board. Look at the production credits. We're talking more specifically about production here. Look at the production credits, and you'll see more than not that this doesn't. There's some solo work on there that'll pop its head out, but more than often. That doesn't make sense. More often than not, what am I saying? Jesus. More often than not, you will see many different people that are a part of the production process and part of the beat making process. Even the most popular producers. Sometimes they'll build a really, really cool structure for a beat and then randomly they'll send it to another person who changed the hi-hats. And then someone else is like, hey, instead of using this sequence right here, let me add some analog synths over it. And the next thing you know, on like a modern trap beat, there might be 5 producers on it, right? So when you get frustrated, what's up, Retrack? Good to see you, baby. When you get frustrated with the production process, start to just find people and some people that you trust their skills, their ear, ear for their music, their taste in music is huge. Like their taste for what they produced and stuff, what they produce and stuff is really interesting. But if you feel stuck, don't feel like that's like you're failing or something like that. Like almost every single song out there. What's up, Chucky Ellis? Good to see you, man. Almost every single song out there has a team of people that is working on it. The ones that make it to where most of us are trying to go. They have a team of people working on it. If you're fantastic solo, run with it, right? But even then, it's one of the things I have a goal of doing more this year is to collaborate more. It's to collaborate more. Like I said, oh, well, I learned something new. I believe most tracks are made by one person, only drums, sound selection, arrangement, melody. Only thing I believe was sometimes said was mixed or mastered. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Like, let me see. No, I don't want to spend too much time on that right now because I got to get into some music. But yeah, look at it. Baby Blue, we just hopped on. So give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna describe the whole thing here. You'd be surprised at how many people, you might have 7 songwriters on a track, 3 producers, a whole bunch of session musicians, maybe 2 different mixing engineers that collaborated on it, and then sent that separately to a mastering group or a mastering studio, and then they sent that to a separate person from a big studio to do a Dolby Atmos mix on it or something like that, right? You'll see a ton of people that are involved. So don't feel like you have to. Now, if you are great alone and that's something you're passionate about, like I just want control over every aspect of my music, that's something I can relate to 100%. I'm very shy collaborating with people and working with other people. It's not specifically a good thing. I have trust issues. But at the end of the day, don't be afraid to collaborate. You don't have to feel like you have to take all this on alone. Just be clear and upfront on points. Who's handling splits on publishing, on mechanical master? Who are there splits for sync fees if it does get placed and stuff like that? You've got to just understand some of those things as you get into it. But at the end of the day, you just gotta do what makes sense for you as an artist, as a producer, as a musician, and stuff like that. Okay, it is time for enough yapping. Even though this live is called Track Talk, we are going to be yapping a little bit. We are going to be talking tracks quite a bit, answering questions and getting into some music, y'all. Once again, line is up. I just put the line up on the other platforms. I'll explain that here in just a moment. I am only going to take like 4 or 5 songs today. It's not going to be a very long live, and each of these songs are listened to for a long time. Bravo, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. And if I missed any other follows in here, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for the follows, y'all. I appreciate that so much. Let's get into Track Talk, y'all. Let's get into the structure of this live stream. If you have never been here before, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the family. I'm so glad you're here. If you haven't been here before, these are 20 to 30 minute long, multiple listen, deep dive consultations into the structure of your music. This is not a quick review. There is no trash or pass. There's no ratings. There are no polls. This is a deep dive strictly into the structure of your music. Like I said, each of the breakdowns that we do per song, per artist, per musician, per songwriter who's in here, whatever it may be, we are going to spend 20 to 30 minutes on it. We are going to go through the song, generally 2 to 3 different times, one time all the way through, and then another couple times chopping through different parts to really hone in and dig into the details and the nuances of what you're doing creatively. This is not a trash live. This is not a roast you live. This is also not a hype live or an exposure live. If those things happen, if you get some exposure, cool. If a bunch of people happen to be in here, fantastic. I'm obviously not against that happening. But at the end of the day, that is not my priority. It is not my goal. I want to get into the details and the nuance of your music and hopefully and ideally offer you some professional, practical, and actionable steps to help you improve your craft. Or if you're already phenomenal, I want to showcase and dig into the details of what you're doing so well so that everybody in the community and everybody that's in the live stream and in the chat can actually learn from your experience as a very talented artist as well. We're going to hear genres all the way across the board for, in any different space. So absolutely any genre and any level of preparedness. We're going to hear, we've heard people, I say this all the time, this is the example, in one live at one point, we heard someone who sent in a voice memo of them humming in a Starbucks booth to see if we could help them build a chord progression over the melody that they were choosing and to start building out a song structure. And we've had Grammy-winning musicians, producers, and engineers in here. So it's going to be all the way across the board. And if you would like to submit for a consultation, like I said, these are long form. Yeah, it's super annoying, Time Mind. If it's glitchy over there, it's just TikTok. There's not really honestly anything I can do about it. It's just TikTok being TikTok. If you are, let me see. Yeah, if it's glitching at all, what you can do is join the Red app. if you feel like it. That's also where you can see the line, the order, the minimum, stuff like that. So if you go to, that's YT, the place you watch videos, you can go to my profile, click on the link tree and click on the icons at the top there. That's where you can see the line, the order, the minimum. If you would like to submit for a consultation, like I said, 30 minutes long, multiple listen, deep dive, then go to my profile, and you got to go all the way to the profile. So you can't just click on the name and you'll see it pop up. You need to go all the way to it. So you got to click it twice. Go to my profile, click on the link tree and click on track talk submission. Once you go there, just read through and follow all of the steps in order to submit, and we'll get you up on the board. Once again, the board or the line is up on our other platforms. Right now, we're live on 3 platforms, of course, TikTok, the red app, YT, and the purple app, T. On those other platforms, you can hear some better audio, visual, as well as see the line, order, minimum throughout the course of the live, so you know exactly where you are. And for those of you who don't know, maybe you've never been here before and it is your first time, my name's Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. It's what I do for a living. It's what I do full-time. I've done that for the last 13 plus years. I'm also a classically trained musician, so that is a perspective that we're holding leading into this live stream. Like I said, I'm not here to roast you. I'm not here to hype you up. I'm not here to just see if your song is cool. I'd like to really get into the details and the structure of your music. That's what it's all about. Okay, let me double check a few things. Let me see some other things here and make sure that I'm refreshed so I can make sure I get y'all up on the board for the people coming in. I've been coming in broke. Could you do 0 for 0? I cannot, Mac. It would not be fair to the other thousands of people that we've had come through this live stream over the last year. In order to make it fair for everybody here, I have to hold the same standard for everybody. But I also want you to be aware, Mac, that this is an incredibly generous community as well. We always, every single live stream, nearly every single live stream, I'll say, we have people coming in that just donate credit to help people out, to get them up on the board, to give them a leg up so that they can get heard and get their music in line. So I want to make sure that it's fair for everybody. We always have people. We do giveaways over the course of the live oftentimes as well. Today's going to be a little bit shorter, so I don't know if I'll initiate one. Sometimes people they'll just send in some credit to give away to the community. We can do that as well. But just, it's going to be a short live for me today. Usually I'm on after I finish all my work and stuff. I'm typically on for like 4 or 5 hours. Today it's going to maybe be about 2 hours or so. So not super, super long. But let's get it to, okay, so let me see. Boss Man. Okay, let me double check for you. FAAFO. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you so much. Sick Rats in the building. Sick Rats. It's been a minute. Let me just double check here. Let me get this up on the board. And let me see. I believe this is for Boss Man. Let me double check though. John, thank you so much for the follow as well. I really appreciate that. Let me see. Bossman, are the initials JB? Just, I typically try to not say people's names because sometimes they don't like that. Are the initials for you who sent it in? Is that JB? That way I know to get that credit up on the board for you. That's you. Okay. That's you. So let me get all this organized. Give me a second, y'all, and then we'll kickstart the music. And then hold on, let me see, because that's just a partial. Double check really quick, John. Is it John Salmon? Double check all of the details. So I want you to go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission, and then start from the top and read all the way through, all the way down to the credit where you already sent that. Just so you can be very, very clear on the details. And then I would encourage y'all to check the line before. The line is up on the other platforms, the red app or purple app. You can see those really, really quickly as well, or just keep that live open in another tab if you feel like it. But let me get some things organized here, and then. Let's see, Shadman, I said, Bossman, I have your email. Let me just double check over here if I have everything else in order. And then Bossman, I don't have a full submission from you as well. So I want to make sure we get all of those in place before we kickstart the music, y'all. And we're going to, Jesus, velocity. We'll get everything moving here in just a minute, y'all. Just a few minutes and we'll kickstart the first songs here. Yeah, but yeah, if you want to submit, Roy, thank you for tapping in as well. If you want to submit and you're over on this app, go to my profile, click on the link and click the link tree and click on Track Talk Submission and just read through it and follow all the steps right there. And we'll get you up on the board. I have a few up from the other day as well that I want to make sure, hopefully we can get them in here as well. Retrack, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for that. Mikhail, Kev, Monty, and 24 League. I'm going to pull them off the platform. I pull them off of the list after today's live. I try to keep them up there for a few days, and then I put them on my saved list in case they come back so we can throw them straight back up on the board as well. Knowing how to play the piano well definitely makes things, this is AK over on the purple app, by the way, y'all. Definitely makes things easier. It does. I've been playing piano, classically trained pianist from the ages of 6 all the way through 19. So when it comes to like building out song structure, building up production details, even like tracking in MIDI and stuff like that, it makes it so much easier. That's why, I typically recommend that if you are going to be a beat maker side of production, I highly recommend that you learn the basics of piano. Learn the basics of piano, of scaling, of understanding your progression and your movements and your phrasing and stuff like that. It makes a huge difference. Makes a huge. You don't have to be some some maestro or something, right? You don't have to be like crazy at it. But it's incredibly beneficial to understand, the modulation and transposing, understanding chord counts and phrasing. It really, really makes a difference, because then like for me, I have what you would refer to as like near perfect pitch. It allows me to like hear a song, play a couple things, and know exactly where the progressions are. It just makes it a whole lot easier for you to like listen to your clients who you're building productions for and understand the structure of what they're looking for, how to maybe change some things and hear what's going on and understand what would be the most beneficial way to like update and polish the track. So I do recommend it. I definitely recommend getting into some ear training. You can do some on YouTube, but also just like personal ear training of like trying to understand scaling better and stuff like that. It makes a huge difference. Okay, let me just give me a second. I want to make sure we get all this stuff updated. Let me know, John, if you've updated the submission yet, or if we've read through everything, let me know, and that can get you up there. And then Shad, same thing. Boss man, same thing. Just make sure that you do the full submission. That way we can get you up there, and we'll get flowing with some music here in just a minute. Shreds is in the building. What's up, Shreds? Thank you so much for tapping in. Thank you so much for tapping in. We're going to get moving here. C4, thanks for tapping in as well. Sounds good, Baby Blue. Sounds good. Jaybird, go to my profile, click on the link, click on Track Talk Submission, and we'll get it all moving for you. I'm excited, AK. I'm excited to get into it. We should just be a couple minutes away. From getting everything rolling here. I'm just making sure that the submissions that I came in are full submissions, and then we'll get things rolling. Altronica, thank you so much for tapping into the stream. If you're over on TikTok as well, please make sure you're tapping the screen. Share the live out with a few people. L Jane, thank you for joining the live stream as well. And if you wouldn't mind sending a heart me as well, the heart me definitely does help out the live stream as well. Is it Louie? Am I saying that correctly? Thank you so much for the donuts. Sorry, I just missed that. Thank you for the donuts. And Mac, thank you for the roses as well. I appreciate that a lot. Matt G, thanks for tapping into the stream. We're about to get it moving, y'all. I appreciate those gifts so much. Thank y'all for your generosity. I appreciate that a lot. You're good, John. You're good. Totally good. No worries at all, man. I just wanted to make sure that way I can get you on the list with everyone else up there as well. Boom. Got you. You're set. All right, let's kickstart the music. The music. It's time. It's time this summer. All right, let me update this here. Let's get John up on the board. John, I got you. I appreciate you so much. I'm going to go ahead and put you to the top right now, even though we have those other Thames. That way we can get everything. Systems in the building. What's up, System? Thanks for joining over on the Purple app. I appreciate you being here. Emil, thanks for tapping in over on TikTok. I appreciate you being here. Let's aim for like maybe 4 or 5 songs today. So we're going to start with 5. And then John, let me pull up your email and make sure we got everything in the right place. Actually over here, just type, this is on the Purple app, type !submit right there in the chat. Please just read through and follow all of those details, and we'll get you up here. This is what the line looks like right now. You can see it right here on the Purple and Red apps. If you're over there, I would encourage you all to check so you can see the line, the order, the minimum, and see where you're at. This is the line currently. This is who we have up there. How many songs we have left in the minimums over the course of the live. So I do recommend that you all keep that up on the screen. All right, let's get into this first track. Let me go down to my email here, and we've got Boo. Mm-hmm. Sounds good. And then let me know, Baby Blue, is there it might be a different name, so let me just see here. Let me see really quick. Blue, what's the initials? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we'd love to. We're going to get into a couple tracks here. Like I said, probably 4 or 5 tracks. Once again, these are long form, 30-minute consultations, a deep dive into the structure of your music. Blue Sunflower. Okay. Blue Sunflower. Let's see. And then let me know who just sent JL. The initials are JL. Let me know who that is so I can make sure I get you up on the board as well. I got your credit and I also got your email. So I want to make sure. Is it Jaya? Am I saying that correctly? I do want to make sure that I say that correctly. Oh, that's you. Unless you all have the same name. Lily, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Beautiful. Okay. Perfect. Am I saying that correctly? I know that's where it gets confusing though sometimes, which is why I always want to make sure that I ask, because sometimes I'll see a name on TikTok that's a different name than the artist name in the email, which is a different name than the credit that I submit or that I received, and I want to make sure that I keep everything lined up. So let me get this up here. Do, 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 do. All right. Perfect. MJ's in the building. What's up, MJ? Welcome in. We don't listen to popular artists here unless it's someone that you're like closely connected to. And we've had people that have, like 1 million monthly listeners or something like that, but they're like someone who's actually locked in with this artist. It's like their brother or like their best friend who's producing for them and they want to put them on a little bit. We've had that happen. Like we've had managers for people that have come in here and submitted music. And so like we had for a while we had Breakins, their manager, and one of their agents was in here and he was submitting some of their songs and some other songs that they were representing at the time. I think before they were getting some hits on like Steven, what's his name? I can't think of his, Steven Sanchez, before they had an opportunity to potentially work with them. I don't think that actually fell through though. Okay. Yeah, you're the only one who can say it right. Yes. I hope I remember to say it the right part. I hope I remember to say it the right way the whole time. Okay, let me get all this updated. Once again, the line should be updated over on the Red and Purple app, so y'all can check that out if you want to see the line, order, and minimum, so on and so on. So let me just confirm that I've got all of this updated. Once again, if you would like to submit for a consultation, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. Just read through and follow all the steps here, and we'll get you up on the board. I've got John, Jaya, Mikhail, Kev, Monty, and 24 Leak up on the board right now, and a couple other people still coming in. So let's get it moving. Let's get it moving. So we're going to kick it off with John today. Let me just see if I'm not seeing the email, but let me see if it's potentially under a different name really quick. I'm a part of a Native American metal band. I'm interested in what you do. Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds so cool. Is it just Rod? That sounds amazing. Would you like to hear my metal band? We got some metal in here today. Let's go. Some of the first people that jumped into the live stream were metal as well. Beautiful. I'm so glad y'all are here. Thanks for tapping in. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. You'll see all the details that you need right there. We'll get you up on the board. I'm just waiting for John. I haven't seen the email come in, so if you wouldn't mind, John, just double check that you send it to the right email. I believe it's tracktalksubmission@gmail.com. Pretty sure. So just you'll see it right at the top of the form. Right at the top of the form, just copy that over and send that over. We'll get you moving in the right direction. So I think we're gonna kick it off with John, and then we'll move from there. Beautiful. Neor, welcome in. Thanks for tapping in this stream today. Katy Perry, thanks for tapping in as well. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, if you want to, and Lily, yeah, same thing. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. We'll get moving with some music here in a second. I'm just waiting on John. So John, let me know where you're at. I'm just waiting on the email, and then we'll get everything rolling here. You're totally good. No worries. Take your time. No rush. Do what you gotta do. One question, sub 37 or poly D, be real, sub 37, easy, not even a question. In fact, I have bad news. My poly D, which I have right behind me, right there, that's my poly D. My poly D is broken right now. I've got to open it up. I've got to do some surgery on it. I gotta do some surgery on it, and so hopefully I can get it fixed up. I need to replace one of the rocker switches in there for the distortion circuitry. So the on-off rocker switch for the distortion circuitry is broken, and so it's loose and it's not engaging or disengaging. It's at a halfway point, and because of that, it's an inline distortion circuitry, and because of that, it doesn't make any sound, right? So it's one of the last circuits on there before the main output of the poly D. This, again, the synth right here. And since it's an inline distortion circuitry, that means that everything flows through it as one of the final stages of amplitude and processing. And because that is dead, I have no signal coming out of it, even if I wanted to like bypass it, which is super annoying. It's super annoying. So I've got to open it. I got to like order a part from Behringer. I got to order a switch from there or on eBay or something like that. And then I got to open it up. I got to unsolder and resolder a new rocker switch in there and hope that it all works. It'll be a fun little project. Maybe I'll make a whole YouTube video out of it. That'll be fun. I just got to order the part and figure out exactly what I need in there and order some tools for it. But yeah, that's sad, bro. Got a clear answer. I'm going to spend the extra. Yeah, you should. I would like to do that in the near future. Jimmy's in the building. What's up, Jimmy? No worries, Lily. I got you. No worries at all. Lincoln Park's great. Are y'all a fan of the new stuff too? I'm not super in tune with it, but I've heard some stuff and it sounds pretty good. It's not going to ever be the same, but to me, I still like it. Terrence, thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. Jimmy, it's so good to see you. I appreciate you hopping in today. Okay, let me get all this updated real quick. And then I think this is, it's all right. It's all right. I know it's hard to even compare. Okay, John, I got you. I got your SoundCloud. And Lily, I think is the first initial for you, Lily J. But anyways, I'm thinking in the near future I might get a matriarch, a Moog matriarch. I'm trying to trade out a couple things in here, and yeah, it's hard to even. Does your initial start with J? I just want to make sure I get the right name up on the board from the credit that was sent in. So I just want to I have a JB who sent in. I just want to make sure that I attach that to the right name so I can get it up on the board. And let's see. Beautiful, beautiful. Perfect. All right, let me get you up on the board. I just want to make sure all the names are connected, and then we're going to get into the music, y'all. It's time. It's time. It's time. We got Lily in the building. Beautiful. All right, we got John, Jaya, Mikhail, Kev, Monty, 24 Leak, and Lily. Lily, I put you right up there with Jaya. Okay, beautiful. It's time for the music, y'all. It's time to get into our first consultations here, so let's get into it. And I have the emails, it looks like, from all three of y'all, so y'all should be ready to go. Just a quick reminder, once again, these are long-form 30-minute consultations. I'm only taking like 4 or 5 songs, and I have 3 fresh submissions on the board with like another 3 or 4 in waiting right now from yesterday. So if they come in, they're up on the board as well. So just to keep in mind, things are going to move fairly quickly as far as the structure of the live goes. I'm not going to be listening to like 10, 12 songs like I usually do. It's going to be short and sweet. So if you do want to submit, you can. You can always move forward. You can always do whatever you want to do as far as where you're positioned, how fast you go. Go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. Read through and follow all the steps. We'll get you up there. We got John in the building. John, hop in the chat. Just let me know that you're here. I'm going to pull up your track here, and then we'll get into this first consultation here, and we'll start running things up. It's a demo, so no and incomplete vocals in some parts. Beautiful, fantastic. Okay, John, I believe it's my. Oh, hold on. We got a hard left pan. Beautiful. Let's get into it. Let's pause it for a second, though. If you wouldn't mind, John, I believe it's my first time hearing your music. So thank you for one. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being vulnerable enough to send in your music here over the internet. It's a weird thing to do, but I understand that completely. So thank you for doing that, man. I appreciate you trusting me with what you're doing creatively. I would love to hear more details about what you do. So I would love for you to talk to me about production structure, talk to me about the mix and master, the role that you play in the building out of your music. So we can talk about the structure from that standpoint. But let's get into it. This is Plains by Isle of Salmon. Am I saying all that right? Just to make sure. Barefoot, welcome in. See you. All right, let's get it. This is Plains. Perfect. It's way better audio in case y'all are interested. If you're like, man, the audio's over here and it's super glitchy and whatever, go to the Red app, YT, and the whole new world will open up before you. Have better visuals, better audio in the line. It's fun. Because it sounds like I love salmon. Is it okay if I submit a song and didn't make Yeah. 100%. Yeah, we have like engineers and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. If you're an engineer, you're a producer, you're an executive producer, you manage, you're a musician, you're a vocalist, you're a songwriter, an artist, whatever it may be, then you can absolutely send in your music. AG Mel's in a bit. What's up, AG Mel? It's good to see you, man. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing fantastic, man. I hope you're doing fantastic. All right, let's get into it. Like I said, y'all, I'm going to be closing the lines up here pretty quick. This is not going to be a long. It's not going to be a long live. 4856. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. All right, let's get into it. This is Plains. And then, yeah, let me know your role in making this, John. AG, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate you. Leon, thank you for the follow. It's like very experimental. Beautiful. It is super weird. It's super weird. Welcome over to the better app. Very textural. Your vocals too, right? Love it, love it, love it. Hold on. Gosh, why is TikTok doing this? It's blocking me. Give me a sec, y'all. Give me a sec. This happened the last live. I'm literally not doing anything. Sounds good, Markio. I got you. It's wanting to suppress me for unoriginal content. It's like, I don't know, it's me right here. Here I am. I don't know how to be more original. Like, it's my camera, my mic. Give me a second. I gotta appeal this really quick, otherwise it's gonna block everything. It does not contain that. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Let me get this run through, and then we'll kick back into it. Love the texture, John. Love the texture on this. All right, we should be. Hopefully it doesn't screw everything up. TikTok's kind of annoying sometimes. But let's get it. Yeah, so much better. It's so much better. TikTok is ever since they were purchased, hostilely taken over. It's been super weird. I'm getting like restrictions for nothing. It's like I'm not even like cursing on. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. TikTok's very, very tricky these days. What are you producing on, John? Hell yeah. Nice. Welcome in, Timeline. Lots of ambiance. Is it really Timeline? No way. No way. That's nuts. This feels like a movie scene. It's like I can picture like in a forest, video of the trees, and it's like the leaves are making that sound kind of. Really interesting sound design. Really interesting ambiance here. Really. What's what's it gonna cost? 100, 200, more? Beautiful, beautiful job. Y'all, please show some love. That's Plains by Isle of Salmon. That's so true. It's so true. The time I over on TikTok's talking about the reissue of the old Beatles console. That's that's gonna be wild. That's gonna be wild. I'm sure it's gonna be a couple hundred. I would be shocked if it's anything less than a couple hundred, like, 2 or 3. Because I mean, even if you think about like the modern SSL or even like the lower end, like Neve Genesis consoles and stuff like that, those are even still tens of thousands of dollars. So I would be shocked if it's less than a couple hundred, like 2, 300 or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. I guess depending on how many ins and outs and kind of the setup of it. But that's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. All right, let's run it from the top, y'all. This is Plains by Isle of Salmon. As far as I know, this is only out on SoundCloud, but let me know, John, if this is out on any other platform so we can send people your way. Let them know as well. I mean, Vintage was 600K just for 8 channels, so like it can't be crazy comparatively. Yeah, that's true. That's true, but I know they just throw a name on it and they end up charging 300 grand. You know what I mean? Like they just be doing stuff these days. Okay, let's run it from the top. Just on SoundCloud for now. Let's get into it, man. Beautiful sound design, beautiful, just like texture and color and character in this, and a good balance. A good balance of all of those elements as well. For me, I have like some intuitive things that I want to talk about just from a production structure standpoint, but sound design wise, I love what you're doing. I'm curious if we can't throw in, just like at the end here, you have this beautiful let me see. I think over don't listen to that. Over like that A, B, and C sharp, right? Kind of here at the end with the acoustic. Yeah, with like a little bit of detune and stuff right there too. Yeah. So like over like that B with the A kind of underneath and on your low end right there. I was done probably more platforms. Okay, perfect. I like that, Joe. I like that. I love this moment because it takes all of the really interesting sound design. It takes all of this like color and texture and character that you have in the mix already right here, and it grounds it for a second, right? It makes it like palatable for like the average listener for just a moment. I would love, like, honestly, this is a 4.5 minute, about a 5-minute track, right? About a 5-minute track. I would love like 2 more moments of that. We'll get into it and we'll run back through the song. I would love like 2 more moments where it grounds for a second, even with all of the crazy, interesting textural sound design that you have. I would love like 2 more moments where it feels a little bit like you can breathe for a second and it's not so much movement and so much texture that you actually like lose a little bit of the grounding and the foundation of it. I would love like 2 moments where even for just like 4 measures or 8 measures, you go back into a progression that repeats itself, even with some crazy sound design over the top. So we can listen about like how strategically you could do that. And also these are stylistic choices. So feel free to ignore what I'm saying as well. Because your sound design is really, really nice. It's very like ethereal, very, very vibrant. I like it a lot. So let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. Once again, y'all, this is Plains by Isle of Salmon. It's really, really fun. Also, I can't lie, when it cuts out during the Jordan ambient part, that's all export issues. Okay, got you. Let's get into it. Yes, Mark, these are all posted. So if you go to, this one will be like episode 32 or 33, even though we've been doing it for 3 years. I just started over the count on there to make it easier for me. If you, just go through the last, you'd have to see exactly where it is. I don't know which one I have on there. It would have been a couple streams ago, I guess. But yeah, just go to my icon or go to my profile, click on the link tree and just go to the Torvik Music YouTube. And it's under the, just go to the Track Talk Track Talk live stream playlist. Every single one of these live streams are saved as a VOD to the Red app. Yeah, of course. Right back at you. All right, let's get into it. Like, I love how kind of crazy and chaotic and textural all of this feels. I just want like a moment of grounding of all of this movement. Like even here. So as like your first introduction to the sound design here, it would be nice. Again, these are stylistic choices, so feel free to ignore a chunk of them. Samantha, thank you for the follow. Feel free to ignore some chunks of what I'm saying. It would be really nice. I'm gonna actually switch this out. Give me a sec. Let's go over here. I'm gonna find a different piano here just for a second. Because I already know exactly what I'm looking for. The Earth Piano by Roland. I love this piano. For like soft ambient stuff. All right, let's pull this up. Warm, felt, gorgeous. Let's switch right here. So I would love to when this finally builds up to have a little bit more like low end energy behind these like acoustic plucks and harmonics that you have in there. It would be nice to just have this kind of like soft open movement right here. Let's get into this acoustic really quick for a second. Just to like carry some level of like glue around what's going on. Keep it still punchy and choppy and interesting and dynamic, but have something that glues a little bit. It's like, again, your rhythm structure there is very loose. The rhythm structure is very, very loose right in there. But my brain is kind of one, like I like it. It starts out, it's like how long we do something matters a lot too. Like the length of which you hold a particular pattern makes a difference as well. And things being too loose or too monotonous as well. This goes both ways, right? Too rigid and robotic and monotonous. And on the other side, being, just so like loose and free flowing that there's no structure and you don't feel like anything feels like relatable or grounded as far as movement goes. So to me, it's like how long we do. So this kind of goes until some, Georgia, thanks for the follow. As we're moving through here, get a little grounding after like a minute. So it takes about a minute. You get some like pads in the background and some like some really bright reverberated picking patterns at the top. But underneath, it takes about a minute before you kind of get into that part of the structure. And so my intuition is that there's a balance between what feels really interesting and really engaging. And if you do that for too long, so like I start out really loving all of the movement, it's textural and weird and funky. I start out really, really liking it, but after about, let's say 20 to 30 seconds, my brain is like, can we just hear a chord? Can we just structure it right? It's like, it's craving some level of like grounded nature. I would listen to it, and you probably already do based on what I'm hearing here, but I would listen to some like Cashmere Cat and stuff like that. Listen to how they build out really weird, interesting structure, and it's choppy and glitchy and all this. It's kind of hyper sounding, but then all of a sudden there'll be like a beautiful like low bass or a chord that like fills in and makes it feel really grounded and familiar. And then it might sound chaotic for a second, and it sounds kind of weird and kind of funky. And then all of a sudden you start to hear the snare on the 2 and the 4, and it all starts to kind of make sense again, right? So I think there is a balancing act that we can do between kind of the chaotic, weird, ethereal, ambiance that we have in here, and some elements that like ground it and bring it back to a place that's like, oh yeah, I kind of know what's going on here a little bit. If it's too free flowing and too outside of the norm, I feel like it's difficult sometimes to like grab onto it as a consumer, as a listener to it. So that's some of the stuff I would focus on, because I like all your sound design. Everything you're doing is really interesting and it's really dynamic sounding. But I would be worried that people would like listen to it, and after like again, it's about a minute of just the picking pattern there that's loose off the grid. I think after like 20, 30 seconds, 40 seconds for sure, people would probably move on. They'd be like, I don't necessarily know where this is pulling me towards, and they might move on. And that's a shame, because you have some other beautiful, beautiful sound design in here that I want people to get to. And one of the ways that you can kind of hold them there is just occasionally bring them down to earth for a moment and bring them down to some structure. And you can always float away for a second after that. Just bring in a progression for like 4 measures, and all of a sudden just bring this in. And just start here, and then and they move it into something right after that, right? But I opened Ableton right after this. Definitely gonna try and add more low end. Yeah, 100%, 100%. I would just, and again, these are also stylistic choices, right? These are decisions that are completely up to you as the artist to make. I'm not here to tell you how to produce your song at all, at all, at all. I'm just telling you just like another ear on it. There's some really creative things that me as a producer, as a fellow musician, I can, oh, that's sick. I see what you're doing there. I can sense your automation curves. I can like see what's happening within your like processing and these glitches and stutters on your double track of the acoustic on the right side. I can see that and be like impressed at your process, but as a consumer of the music, it's going to be difficult to like latch onto. And so that's, I want to find a balance between like impressing peers. It's always a balancing act for a lot of people, like producers impressing peers and these really interesting things, and still having enough like grounding familiar elements to connect to an audience so that you can, they stream it at scale, right? This goes for everybody too. Everybody's guilty of this at some level. I know a lot of rappers that like the way that they rap is to impress other rappers instead of actually telling a story, right? Or actually like, putting a message out there and really focusing on schemes and phrasing and stuff like that. Same with producers. I know a lot of producers that kind of produce to impress producer. I'm not saying you're doing this, by the way, but just produce is something we have to be careful of. Producers that, produce to impress producers instead of making a record that's palatable and that a lot of people will want to listen to. And so I do think that is something that is beneficial to look at and just remind yourself of. Anybody here who's a producer, a songwriter, just to be aware of that is a trap you can fall into. And I definitely encourage you to find some creative ways to kind of bring it back down to earth for a second. And of course, you can always go crazy after this in a little bit as well. Is it Duty? Thank you so much for hopping in. Beautiful name. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission, and then just read through and follow all of the details there. Is it ATLSO or sorry, I can't see the name on the computer from over here. Is it Atlesso? Am I saying that correctly? Do a live mixing of a song? Yeah, I've done a couple before. I'll do a few. I'll do a couple more in the future. Sometimes here's what I found with doing the live mixing, and I also know this. And thank you so much for the follow as well. The other thing that I found watching other people live mixing is they don't get anything done, and it makes it really challenging. So I have done a couple mixes live here on the live stream, and then Hobbitstale, thank you for the follow, and I'll double check for your submission here in a second. I appreciate you. But what I have found is that people are asking a lot of questions, and I get I've like brutal ADHD. So I tend to get like really Atlas. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate you being here. I get distracted, and then I find out that I'm just talking about mixing the whole time. I'm not doing any actual mixing. So what I prefer to do probably would be to like make YouTube videos on mixing and like do a whole mix breakdown and like a whole like mix walkthrough on a YouTube video where I can do it in like the comfort of my own headphones without talking to anyone, and then post those to YouTube for everybody to watch. That's just easier for me. I just felt like I watched a couple other people live mix on here, and this like 2-track like trap beat mix is like taking them 7 hours because they can't get anything done because they're constantly talking about which compressor should I put on my snare, and it becomes brutal. Okay, so anyways, let's get into it. And really quick, Hobbit, let me double check for you really quick, so I can get you up there as well. I think I see the name right there. I'm assuming that's the right one. So let me get, I think it's a Hobbit's Tale. Let me get you up on the board. I appreciate you so much. Let's see. Beautiful. All right. And just a quick reminder, if y'all do want to check the line, please make sure to go over to the Red app. That way you can see the order, the minimums and stuff like that. In fact, I'm going to update that in here a second. So put that under Lily because that's as long as we're going to be able to go today. So I already need to update the minimum. So please just keep track of that. That way, if you're submitting, you know exactly where you need to go. Okay. Let me change this number here, and then John will get into the rest of the track. But that idea that I'm talking about, Heartsfall, thanks for tapping in. That idea that I'm talking about grounding for a second is something that I think needs to happen. Like I mentioned before, it's a 5-minute track. Nothing wrong with that, especially in this very experimental genre that you're doing right here, which I love. I think that's super, super cool. For this structure, I would recommend having a couple other grounding points. You have it at the end. So I think something at about the minute mark, like I said, when that acoustic builds up a little bit and the low end comes back in, I would recommend having an element of grounding right there, a filtered out piano or a plucky synth that builds out a progression a little bit. What's up, V? Welcome in. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that a lot. And then on the other side, maybe like halfway through the song, do another little breakdown where you just have a moment that has like a pad with some other crazy ethereal stuff. Do all that stuff. That's all good. And it's all a staple of your production style. So I want you to keep all of that. But at the same time, yeah, I got you, Mark Hill. I answered it over on TikTok, but maybe it glitched. I got you, Mark Hill. I got you. All right, let me get a little bit deeper into this. Thank you so much, V. You as well. It's like even like this moment right here. Even this little pocket right here of this like walk down that you have off of the E major, right? To that D, you know, walking it down chromatically or however you're building your structure, right? Like that, the movement's really, really nice. And so giving it like a moment, you have that vocal coming in, giving a moment where maybe there's less floating away. And thank you for the Go Popular, I appreciate it. Less floating away, more grounding, just for a moment, just for a pocket, right? Like, so take it down to like a dark piano or like a dark filtered Rhodes, and that beautiful vocal that you have over the top. Yes, I'm here, TikTok. Why is TikTok so funky lately? TikTok, we love you, but you're driving me nuts, I'll be honest with you. It's giving me puzzles every 15 minutes. Magnify, welcome in. Suppressing the stream from the For You page. I don't know what's going on. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that's some of the things that I'm looking at, right? Like you have this beautiful little pocket right here. Talk no. So on this little, you know, talk no. Reach out. Like these little pockets right in here. Yeah, Lily, I highly recommend. I highly recommend it. Yeah, it's TikTok. Yeah. TikTok, I appreciate the platform that you've offered us, but get your shit together. All right, it's glitchy. It sounds terrible. It's whatever. But yeah, they don't want us to win. They don't want us to win. Yeah, this is where it's at over here. If y'all are having issues over on TikTok, as much as we love you, feel free to hop over to the Red app. It's better audio, it's better visual. I can also do some fun stuff. Like right now, we're in the DAW, so I could actually just show John exactly the piano that I'm using to like break down the stuff. I could just show him Pro Tools. It's fun. It's way more fun over here. There's just so many more fun things that you can do. All right, let's get into it. But yeah, TikTok's been super glitchy lately. Yeah, so you have these beautiful moments, John, that give you just like a softness to the song, and then you can float away a little bit and do some other fun stuff. But what kind of matters about the structure of this is the floating away, right? And by that, I just mean like the ambiance and these like really textural layers that you kind of throw in spontaneously that have all this great echo and reflection and movement. All of that matters more if it happens more separate from stuff, right? Like if it's always there, then you lose a little bit of the impact of it in the mix, as opposed to compartmentalizing a little bit and having some moments that are like really dry and close and maybe a little bit more rigid. There's a little more structure to like the piano and the vocals, and then you bring it out to something really interesting and crazy after that. Let me skip into this last section here now, because this is really fun. Love these guitar layers and stuff. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. Please check the line and the minimums first, as they are adjusting over the course of the live. I'm not going to be on for very long. Interesting sound design. Really, really fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I like it a lot. Like even here, like the sound design is really, really nice. It's beautiful, beautiful sounding. I kind of want to like, let me do this. I'm going to get out of this piano for a second. And I mean all of this too. Sampled some Pokemon for this is crazy. I love that. I love that, John. And all I want to do here too, all I want to do here as well is just get your wheel spinning. I don't want to, like I said before, I don't want to tell you what to do. I just want to get your wheel spinning. Don't tell Nintendo. It's our secret. It's just all over the internet now. It's our little secret. Nobody will know. It's just get your own creative wheel spinning. That's really all I want to do. It's on the Red app. It's on the Red app. So if you go to my profile, use your imagination. The Red app is another video app. YT, use your imagination. I'm live there as well as another app as well, the purple app, the T app. If you go over there, you can see the line. It's up all the time. Unless I'm in Pro Tools, and I'll switch it back and forth. Yeah, I have to be like all cryptic over here, as y'all may very well may know. Okay, I'm gonna switch this out here. So I just want to get your wheel spinning. I'm gonna switch. I just want to throw on a sub bass underneath for progression's sake, right? So we're gonna go to expand to just drop the simplest. Noki's in the building. What's up, Noki? The simplest sub bass in the world, just so we can get something under here and show you a little bit of what I'm kind of talking about. So this is. Let's bring this. Let's do. Don't do that. And let's filter this down. Let's go. Wild sounding. Crazy. Okay, let's so here's kind of what I'm listening for here, right? We build this up a little bit. All this space, all this beautiful movement. Let some of those early hits happen. And it's like, and again, take this loosely, just get your own creative wheel spinning. It's just like finding some way to get like a grounding element that tells the listener where we are. You know what I mean? So there's all of this movement and floating and modulation, all of this automation of your delay tails and reverbs. There's all of this like reflection, all of this movement. All they got to do to kind of ground that is just get some low end in there, get some progression. This is all clipping like crazy. Let me bring this down a little bit. Just to kind of ground some of the movement that's over the top of it. Do I need to show you what kind of music I like or not? Oh yeah, Christian, if you want to submit, you want to get the full details of the live structure here, go to my profile, click on the link. No, well, it is just TikTok, Noki. It's way better on the other platforms, just letting y'all know. But if you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. It is clipping kind of nasty just because it's turned up too loud. But it's like finding some ways to ground some of this, right? And then I would like drop from here, right? Let this breathe. Now you can float away a little bit more, right? It's kind of the stuff that I'm thinking of because you get better structure here. There's so much I love about this. So much I love about this. Sounds good, Noki. Yeah, it's better. See what? It's like a breath of fresh air when the structure come into play. So if there's like one thing, honestly, like I like your balancing, man. I like the structure of what you have here. Like it's really, really interesting. So that's like my loose, this is completely up to you how you do this, right? Like how you structure this and how you build out, you know, additional information in this mix is completely up to you. But I would highly suggest that you already have this at the end where you go into the progression on the acoustic guitar. That picking pattern's gorgeous. Tonally, I like it's very raw, but still process, right? Like the core guitar is raw with a bunch of reflection. I like that a lot. Same with the vocal, very raw vocal with a lot of reflection. It works really well in this style and in this genre. So if you can do that structurally, like in the first minute of the song, and then at like the 3-minute mark ish, right? Find a pocket to either add in like a low sub bass or some progression that gives it a little bit more of a grounding feel to the song. I think you're going to be so much better off. I just think it'll be more palatable to more people, while still keeping it incredibly interesting and engaging and weird and ethereal and all the stuff that I know you want the song to be. Y'all please show some love. That's John. Isle of Salmon is the name of the artist. The song is called Plains. If you like what you're hearing, I need y'all to please, please, please go follow John. Go follow John. They're over here on the Red app right now. They've been back and forth on the on TikTok as well. So please show some love and support to the family. I appreciate you so much for sending this in. Once again, that song is called Plains. Isle of Salmon is the name of the artist. So definitely go stream them. If you have stuff on platforms, let people know as well where they can find you. And of course, definitely go find Isle of Salmon on TikTok and other platforms as well. You're really talented, man. Very interesting sound design, great automation, great movement. You should be really proud of what you're doing. All right, let's keep it going. Noki, thank you so much for the roses. I just saw that as well. Absolutely, absolutely. Anytime. You've got a really, really cool head on your shoulders. I like what you're doing creatively, man. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, let's keep it going. Let me see where I'm at. I want to move at a good pace. We got Jaya in the building. Let me see. We got Jaya right here. Jaya, hop in the chat. Let me know where you're at, just because I'm bouncing between different platforms here, and I want to make sure I get it. I'm going to start reading through the email right here. I wrote this song as a fun way to express myself. Wrote this at the age of 17, and beat was from a YouTube channel that I like, and I did ask for permission to use the beat. I don't remember the name, so I apologize. No worries at all. No problem at all. Let's get into it. No. That's blue. Oh yeah, that's Blue Sunfire over here. Sorry, I gotta make sure. I gotta double check because the names are all different. Let's get this over here. Delete this. All right, so this is from, this is now, goodness, it's 3 years, 2.5 years old. I was like, this is 2023. It's like last year. Jesus, time is so weird. So this is, 2.5, almost 3 years ago. This is Knock by Jay Lewis. Let's get into it. So YouTube beat so far. And this is a couple years old. So if that's changed at all, like if you're now currently working with a producer, doing some stuff yourself, let me know. And also let me know if you engineered this yourself. Did you like track your own vocals and mix your own vocals? Let me know, just so I can get some context on the structure here. If you're over on TikTok as well, do me a huge favor. Make sure you're liking the live, share out the live with a few people, and also make sure that you send in the heart me for the day. It does really help out the stream. I need to take breaks so often, bro. Just and I'm sure. Breaks so often, bro. Just a suggestion. I'm sure the chat won't mind. What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean, Noki? We just got on not that long ago. We've only been on for like an hour total. All right, let's get into it. This is Knock by Jay Lewis. Okay, cool. I appreciate you, Noki. I appreciate that. That's love. That's love. Let's go. I like it. You got a good voice. Making drums, hook 'em in. Welcome in. Thanks for tapping in. I like that. That's funny. Pop Rap, welcome in. What DAW are you using to track and everything? Or this is sharp cut, sharp cut, sharp cut. All right, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Y'all, please show some love. That is Jaya Lewis. If you like what you hear, that song is released. So if you want to stream it, you can go to whatever DSP that you use, stream the track, like the track, add it to your playlist, go follow them on Spotify, etc., etc. Go show some love and support to Jaya. Jaya, you got an amazing voice, really, really nice voice, and some really great writing on here as well. I'm excited to get into some of the details of this. Let me know. You mentioned too that I think you said some of you're more tech savvy now. Do you feel Voloco is what I use? What is Voloco? I don't know if I've heard of that. That's like a DAW, a vocal effects app with automatic tuning, harmony, and vocoder. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you dropped that in, you dropped the beat into Voloco and then added your vocals from there, right? Is that what I'm picking up on? Okay, perfect. All right, let's get into it, y'all. Y'all, please show some love. That's Blue Sunflower 06 over on the Red app. If you want to follow the artist from there, subscribe to them, all that good stuff. If you let me see, Derek, thank you for the heart, man. Appreciate you hopping in. Good to see you. Hope your day is going well. Just record it straight on. Okay, perfect. And then if you're recording straight on it, are you actually using a mic? Or are you recording straight into the phone? Let me know that as well. But let's get into it. This is Knock by Jaya Lewis. Let's dive in. Let's dive in, y'all. We got about 3 tracks left after this, 2 or 3 tracks after this, not too long. So let's get into it. Sounds good, Derek. That sounds like the vibe, man. Thank you. Don't hype me up. Don't get me started. All right, that was I was like, wait, what did I even do? This is Knock by Jaya Lewis. All right, let's get into it. Use my headphones and phone to mic. Okay, do you have a mic now, Jaya? I love those background vocals. Beautiful. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, cool. Okay, so one of the biggest things, because of course the quality that I'm hearing here is limited by what you were. I wish I had one back then. Who are you distributing through? Jaya, who are you I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the names back and forth and make sure I get the right name to the right username. Who did you just? Actually, I could see. No, this is DistroKid. Okay, so one thing that you can do. Right now, since you did this one through DistroKid, I can see on the label file or in the label mark right here. Since you distributed through DistroKid, they have file replacement now. So you could, technically speaking, you could update this track with fresh vocals and a fresh mix. Get this done really, really well. Maybe make some structural changes to it so we can really dig into some of those details right there and actually replace the file and re-upload it again. So there is a possibility if you want to do that. Yeah, they just released that a couple months ago. I think maybe it's fairly new, and I think United Masters you can now. I'm not sure if like CD Baby and TuneCore yet, but I think there's a couple a couple distribution platforms that allow you to do that. Okay, so let's run it from the top because there's a couple little things that I want to talk about. You have again, you have a great vocal, and I'm not going to really talk too much about the mix because the mix will be better next time anyways. I'm not too worried about that. Azura, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, redo it and re-upload it. I would recommend it. Because you have a great voice and you have some really good structure here. What I want to do, Denver, good to see you in here as well. I appreciate you hopping in. Lost Link, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. There's some great structure in here, but I think we can update it. I think we can mature it. I think we can polish it. So we're going to talk about some of those details in here. I'm not going to talk too much about the mix because you're not even recording with the same stuff, right? So I can talk about the fact that there's issues with the vocal thing that you already know. You're recording with headphones and we're limited in your ability to process. So I'm not too concerned about that. If you come back with a mic'd mix and that feels a little bit more polished and stuff, we can break down the mix there too. But there's less to do because you've already upgraded your quality quite a bit. Main thing I think is going to be the most beneficial to you is like structure, melodic structure, song formatting, and stuff like that. That to me is what's going to be probably the biggest benefit to you. And then take that structure, re-record what you need to, polish the quality a little bit more, get a better balance on your mix, and then you can always replace the file. That to me means a little bit more. My music is on my channel as well. Let's go, Lost Link. Thanks for tapping in today. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, if y'all want to submit, y'all, the line is open still, but the minimum has changed. So if you want to check the line, the order minimum, stuff like that, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission to go through the submission process. But check the line first over on the Red app. So on YT, the Red app, you can see all the details there. All right, let's run it from the top, and I'll jump into some stuff kind of right off the bat here. Love these background vocals, by the way. Beautiful. They're airy, they're spacious. One thing I talk about nearly every single live stream is introducing your vocal early so that you meet the streaming threshold, which is 30 seconds. If like I mentioned all the time, you could have 1 million people stream your song for 27 seconds and it won't count. You won't see the number, you won't see the streams, you won't see the money. It has to stream for at least 30 seconds for it to register as a stream. So I recommend most people, no matter the genre, that you introduce yourself as an artist early in the record, within the first probably 10 to 15 seconds, so that people hear someone there. There's millions and millions of pieces of music put out on platforms every single week. Millions and millions, really. Even more now with AI. So it's incredibly saturated, incredibly hard to get exposure. So I just recommend if you want to compete on platforms with a lot of people on there, people need to know that you're there. You need to know that you exist, right? It's why you'll hear some people literally, like, it'll be the first 5 seconds of a song, you'll just hear them take a deep breath. They'll just be or they'll like light a lighter. They'll say, yeah, or something, right? It'll be an ad lib from a hook later on. Having those little like nuggets, those little like breadcrumbs of your vocal, just maintain more attention. It's more likely that you're going to get the full stream from them. It could be the difference between you seeing, 200 streams, even though like 8,000 people checked it out, and actually seeing 8,000 streams. Just people knowing that you exist, knowing that you're there. So I love that you introduced yourself early on in the structure of the line. You rate music? No, I do not rate music. What we do here are long form consultations. So every breakdown that we do is about 20 to 30 minutes long. 20 to 30 minutes long. Every single breakdown, we're going to listen to the song probably 2 or 3 different times to get into the details of the mix, production structure, sound design, song formatting, song structure, stuff like that. And if y'all are interested, I'm not taking on very many songs today, so I am going to close up the line here pretty quick. If you want to check the line, go to the Red app, YT, and you can see the details over there. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. Okay, let's get back into it. So I love this early introduction to your vocal. That's really helpful. Really helpful. T-Mac, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Of course, the actual performance itself and the quality of the tuning structure could be improved over time, but we can tackle that a little bit later once you have your recording with your mic and stuff like that. Oh, beautiful. I love that.
Why you tryna run? Why you tryna hide like he don't know where you are?
Okay, so here's one of the things that to me matters the most about this record is melodic repetition and song structure. This to me, it makes or breaks how many people are actually going to remember. Not just is the beat cool and is the vocal good, but is there a structure built around it that people will even remember, that it will even become an earworm or become ear candy to them later on, where they're randomly doing dishes and they think of these melodies. You need a bit more repetition and a bit more structure to execute that. You have some beautiful vocal melodies. CNO, welcome in. Some beautiful melodies. You have this. Let me hear this. Let me back it up a little bit. I want to get into this early melody. Beautiful melodies.
Why you tryna run? Why you tryna hide like he don't know where you are?
So, you have that melody. What I would do if we were building out the structure of the song is at least repeat that one more time. Like at least build out that part of that melody. You could keep the same lyrics and the same movement if you want to, but at least repeat that melody structure right there. You have an A and B right there. So between A, B song structure. You have like 2 melodies that you go to, the do 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 do, and then the do 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 dun. You have like those two melodies right there. I would repeat those one more time before you move on to a different melody. Otherwise, there's again, great voice, great lyrics, great, structure that you've built out here for the most part. But because the melody and the lyrics are constantly changing throughout the song structure and there's very little repetition of it, it's very challenging to remember it. Think of it this way. This is one way that I like to tell people sometimes. It's a kind of a cheesy way of putting it, but it makes it a little bit easier to remember, like building out song structure and why it matters. Imagine you had to like memorize a paragraph, right? You got to, most people only give your song one chance, barely once. Most people give your song 10 seconds, but even deeper than that, most people will give your song like one chance. They'll see a clip on social media. Maybe they go stream something for a second. They give it one chance. They move on. You got to make sure they remember it when they come back around, right? So in this case, imagine you had to like memorize a paragraph, right? Odds are you can't. You can only read it once. You can only read that paragraph one time, and you have to memorize it. Odds are you're not going to be able to. Maybe you'll remember like the first 4 words, right? Maybe the first 4 words you might remember, and they're like, I don't remember, dude. I was reading all the last words. I don't remember any of that. Now imagine there was like one phrase, and that phrase repeated itself. And we're talking more about melody structure here, but that phrase repeated itself like 8 times in that paragraph. Much more likely to remember the structure, right? So building in repetition into your lyrics, of course, over your hook and your melodies, especially your melodies, is the superpower of creating a hook and something really, really grabby when it comes to building out your song structure, which is why I want to break that down a little bit. Back then, I literally had no clue what I was doing. I listened hard. I know better now, so I could definitely do better, and I'm definitely taking in all this advice, 100%. So I would, because I like the song, I like your melodies, I would go back in, right, and redo these parts of the songs with better melodic structure. Keep those same melodies though, so that the back around, whatever, make a different melodic structure. But if you just repeat even just that first part of the song structure, building out that original melody, filling out the melody for the B section, and then repeat that whole thing, maybe with some small changes, be creative with it, be interesting with it. So do the first part twice probably. So you would do, let me hear it here, right? I'll play you exactly. Go see. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. But please check the line first over on the red app, or YT, if you don't mind, because we're getting close to being done here. So right here, this melody, right here, all of this. Keep all of this. And then, boom. That whole part right there, that whole section, just repeat that whole thing. So you get a full like 8 measures right there, a full like 8 bars right there. Fill out that whole thing, that whole melody. Beautiful, gorgeous. Love everything about it. I want to hear it again. And then when you go back into your second verse on the song, go back into that. You can change the lyrics just like you already have. Change the lyrics, change some of the structure, but go back into that pocket of 2 melodies again on your second verse as well. Does that make sense? So you have that whole part, that whole like 22 seconds to 37 seconds in the song. Repeat that whole melody again. And then maybe, like, this is where you can be more creative with it. Maybe at the end of that melodic structure, you change it a little bit leading into your hook. And that makes it billion times more catchy. Now, in my head later on, if there's repetition there, in my head later on, I'm going to be thinking, like it's gonna be locked in. It's gonna be locked in. So sticky. Timber kind of reminds me of Erica. Really cool. Okay, cool. I don't know if I'm familiar. All right, let's keep it going. You can hear all the melody, lyric structure, all of that's changing constantly. It's just gonna make it that much harder for people to remember. I like you with a more raw vocal though. This is a vocal that I wouldn't overtune, wouldn't overproduce. You want it to slide, you want natural vibrato. Maybe you have some like manual corrections of pitch with like Melodyne to have like your root notes really clean and really solid. But I want to keep all of the natural vibrato, natural movements of your vocal here. This is not a song that you want to overproduce. You want it to feel kind of raw and vibey and really organic. If you overdo it, then it becomes too rigid and sterile, and that's not the goal here. Should be a little, there's a little swing to the production. It's a little bit off the grid. So I want to maintain that with your vocal as well. that's beautiful. So you hear that repetition, right? Da, 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 da. That repetition right there, chef's kiss, beautiful, love it. That's the pocket that I'm looking for the rest of the song as well. LGM, yes, these are long form consultations. It's a paid service. It's not a fast review or a trash or pass rating poll, stuff like that. So if y'all want to, you can check out. I'm not going to be on for very long today. I'm only doing like 4 or 5 songs. So if you do want a full consultation, about 30 minutes long per artist, per producer, whoever it is that gets on here, about 30 minutes long, multiple listens. If you want to, you can find that at my profile. Click on the link tree and click on Track Talk Submission. But please check the line first, just because it's a shorter live today, so the line's a little bit more modular. And those vocals, I know, because you were recording this into a phone, so I know you can polish those like vocal runs that you have in there a little bit more distinctly and a little bit cleaner right now. Again, there's some of the timidity that comes with having to control your vocal into a phone or into earbuds and stuff like that. That makes it a bit more difficult for you to like project and express. So I'm excited to hear you on a mic, because that's going to make a big difference as well. So same thing. It'd be more beneficial to probably go back into the melody structure right there, just for the sake of consistency, right? And then of course, you can be more creative with additional melodies, and they're like maybe changing melody with some ad-libs and layers over the top, stuff like that. But your core melody, a little bit more pattern, a little bit more repetition will definitely help people remember it. And the better you get at that, and again, you're a couple years past the song now, so maybe you already are for sure. I'm assuming you are. But even, within the structure that I'm hearing right now, the more you get great at building simple structure, the more you can float away and get away with it, right? The more you can have, interesting ad libs and melody changes and really deeply understand how it impacts the rest of the song. Stephen, welcome in. So now let me hear. So then you go back into a hook, right? So if your hook is like this, will drop everything and that pocket that you have, there's again great vocals, great melodies, some good lyrics. Like there's a lot that you have going for you that is really impressive. It's just, I think, like taking all of the stuff that we've thrown out there and control, like just molding it and controlling it a little bit, because there's a lot that I like. There's a lot in there that I think sounds really, really engaging. It comes down to taking all of the good ideas that you have and like molding it into something that's like a little bit more palatable, a little bit more catchy, and a little bit more consistent in the way that you're formatting it. Beyond that, though, I think you have some really, really good writing in here that I think is fantastic. And you do have a really easy to listen to voice, which is why when you get into it, I don't want you to like, you are finally processing and stuff. I don't want you to overproduce. I don't want you to overprocess. I want a beautiful, natural, controlled dynamic range, controlled expression, but I don't want it to feel like you've like overprocessed and overtuned this. You should have natural vibrato, natural bends and kind of a portamento in your vocal that should come through really clean. Alan, good to see you. Currently in the process of mixing my debut album. Stephen, if you want to submit any of your music, maybe one of the songs from that, you definitely can. Just go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. Just make sure you check the line first by going to YT, the red app. You can find that at my profile, the icons at the top there. That way you can see we're live over there as well, and that allows you to see the order and stuff like that. Since we're just kind of getting towards the tail end of the live stream here. All right, let's get to the end here. Good layers, good harmonies and stuff too. Just like you said, needs a little bit more control, a little bit more polish when it comes to your structure. That to me is the biggest thing here. able to project a little bit more, like have more diaphragmatic support and stuff like that, is also going to help you with breath control and help you with projection and help you with like pitch control too. Because again, like there's some things you're restraining a little bit here too, and it makes it harder for you to really support the pitch you're wanting to get to as well. So that's a whole other subject that now you have a lot more access to recording into a mic. It's going to make a huge difference. So I see the potential. Jaya, you're really really talented. You're a great writer and vocalist. So I'm excited for you to build out. Again, this is 2.5 years old. I'm excited for you to build out more structure, and rewrite a couple of these things. I would try to maintain as much of your lyrics as you can. Obviously, if you change melody and phrasing, you potentially are going to need to edit some of your like syllable counts and stuff like that to make sure it still feels normal. It doesn't feel crazy like you're rushing crazy lyrics and stuff. Uh, Excuse me, but I would love to hear this again once you've restructured some of those early vocals and built out a little bit more of a consistent hook that matches the dynamic of the song. Like listen to the beat, listen to the dynamics of the beat, and build it out in a way that feels like everything follows each other and is all pointed in the same direction. Y'all, please show some love, show some love, show some love. That is Jaya Lewis. The song is called Knock, and it is out on all platforms. So like I said before, please go stream it, go add it to your playlist, go like the track. The file is going to be replaced in the near future, so you'll get a nice little update on the song if you do add it to your playlist. But y'all, please show some love and support to Jaya Lewis. Jaya, thank you so much for sending this in. I appreciate that so much. Y'all, please show some love and support. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's see where we're at. We've got Lily in the building. Lily, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here, and I'm going to pull up the email. Just let me know that you're present. That way I can see where everything is really quick. And then let me see if I have the email. Oh, I do. Beautiful. Or it just popped up. Something popped up. There's Lily. Beautiful. Let me see. Here's the link to the song. Got it. I forgot to add that my song is about a relationship that's falling apart. Thank you for the context. I appreciate that a lot. Switch from, I know I'm bouncing back and forth between all my screens here. No worries at all. Okay, and then Lily, same thing. Give me some details. Give me some context. Talk to me about the production, where you got it, if you did it yourself, or are you using session musicians, you're using another producer, whatever it may be. BeatStars, Least, YouTube Beat, doesn't matter to me. And then on the mixing side, are you self-engineering your vocals and stuff and the beat itself, or are you sending it to an engineer? Are you working with the studio? Any context, any details, I'd absolutely love to hear. So let's get into it. And then let's dive into it. Jenna's in the building. What's up, Jenna? Thanks for tapping in today. Open on Spotify. All right, this is Hear Me Out. Sir Brandon Lee, welcome in. This is Hear Me Out by Lily. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. For, I believe, and this is 2026, so this is fresh. This came out in the last, at least in the last couple of weeks. It's so, honestly, it's my first time seeing a 2026 on a song that we're listening to. It feels very strange. It is Tall Trees. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. I can't talk, y'all. I really appreciate that, Jesus. Just recently, yeah, I was like, dude, it's so weird seeing 2026 on a song. All right, this is Hear Me Out by Lily. Let's dive in. love to Lily. That song is Hear Me Out, and it is, just like the last song, it is out on all platforms. So if you like what you hear, go stream it, go add it to your playlist, go like it, go follow on Spotify, all that good stuff. Show some love and support. All right, let me catch up on these comments here really quick. But y'all, please show some love to Lily. This is really cool. Great vocals and great structure. I like it a lot. Oh, I love that. I'm a fan. I'm always a fan of doing things from scratch. Always. It just almost always sounds better. Hey, welcome in. What's good? My old setup is far away from me. Yeah, let me know what that means. You're recording in BandLab on the app on the headphones. Got you. Like I'm drowning in stuff. Yeah, I like your vocal structure is really, really nice. Harmonies, movement, fantastic. Stan, appreciate you hopping in. Then I sent the tracks to my producer and he did his thing. He went crazy. Okay, so and then your producer did the whole beat. Sorry, just catching up on the comments. Beautiful. All right, let's get into it. A lot of the music that we listen to is unreleased. A lot of people, especially people that have been here quite a few times before to get kind of the structure of what we're doing, they send in stuff specifically that's unreleased, and people send unreleased stuff all the time. The last 2 tracks have been released, but a lot of people, a lot of people send in unreleased stuff because it gives them a chance to edit some things and redo some things in order to get some things worked on before they put it out to platforms. But people kind of send all over. About the beat from the red app. Okay, got you. My old setup and my... Okay, as far as like the mixing of the vocals is what you're talking about. My old setup in my home back in the Philippines. Oh yeah, that's far away. E, thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. Okay, let's get into it. If you want to, we're getting towards the tail end of the live. If you would like to submit, these are really detailed long form consultations, so you definitely still can. But if you would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. But if you do, I would suggest that you look at the line first, since the minimums and how many songs we have left is updated all the time. So I want to make sure that that's clear. You can check the line by going to the red app, YT. Which you can find at my profile, my link tree as well. That way you can see exactly where everyone's at. But let's run it from the top. This is Hear Me Out by Lily. It is out on all platforms, so please go stream it, go run up the numbers, and let's dive into it from the top. Main thing I want to talk about is vocal mix, and some processing stuff there that you can just take to your future records. Obviously, I know this is already out, so anything that I say about this track, just take to the future, right? Just for the next records that you're working on. Really only like 2 things I want to focus on for like this whole mix breakdown. And it's a detail with the overall master and overall levels of the track, and then 2 being some vocal production things that we can talk about, even within the limitations of your headphones. So let's talk about the headphones and the EQ on your vocal really quick first. I think that's probably one of the most important things, because like you said, your producer did a great job. Your vocal processing itself, like the ambiance, the reverbs, delays, the automation there, like the movement, stuff like that, I think is great. I think a lot of that sounds really nice. Your vocal panning, the manual panning that you did, your layers, where they're positioned, all that sounds really nice. Let's talk about recording with headphones, the limitations of that, and what you can do to mitigate some of those limitations a little bit. One of the issues with recording with Apple headphones, beyond a lot, right? Obviously, it's not like a phenomenal microphone, but the practical limitations of recording with Apple headphones are like its frequency response, right? So you have very limited low end. Of course, it's a tiny little diaphragm of a microphone. You're not going to get a lot of low end or low mids. So there's no body behind the vocal. There's no presence behind the vocal. And then you have a high end roll off past like 8,500 hertz. So if you look at the frequency response of these tiny little, earbuds and earphones and stuff like that, they roll off at like 9,000 hertz. 7K low, what's up, dude? They roll off at like 9,000 hertz, 8,500 hertz. So typically what happens, because it makes your vocal sound really dull and filtered, obviously it's not typically what we want. The answer typically that most people do is that they hyperinflate the high end to rebalance it. So they kind of manually will just go into the EQ on BandLab, the EQ on, GarageBand or whatever it may be. And they'll really, really inflate the high end to make it bright again. So the vocal sounds really dull and filtered down when it's just the Apple headphones and stuff like that. So they go crazy. using the high end, they boost it up by dB after dB in order to regain some of that brightness and some of that energy again. The result of that tends to be a vocal that's really thin on the bottom because there's not a lot of low end energy in the headphones, practically speaking, and a really like bright, kind of hissy and kind of piercing, brittle vocal at the top end, as opposed to like a really like warm and balanced vocal in the mix, which of course you want. Like I saw some of your on Spotify, some of your influences is of like Kalani, even SZA, Kalani. A lot of these people like they have a very warm, saturated, forward vocal in the mix. It is bright, but it's not at the expense of harshness or brittleness. So what you want to do is if you are reintroducing some of the high end back into your vocal here, for one, I would just soften it a little bit. So let's say you're boosting 8K, 9K, 10K on that vocal in order to get it really bright and really energetic. And let's imagine you did that by 6 dB or 7 dB or something, right? Just making up numbers here. You did it by 6 dB. I would just do it by about 3 dB. Regain some of the air again, like regain a little bit some of the top end of your vocal since it's going to be rolled off using headphones, but not so much that it's harsh and brittle. And then I would follow that high push in your vocal again, because these are not good quality. They're very sensitive, small diaphragms. I would follow that with a de-esser. For your vocal, you're probably around like 5,500 hertz, 5,000 hertz. And then just lower the threshold till some of the harshness from your S's and T's, your sibilants, cuts out of the mix, just very, very lightly, right? So we're softening some of the top end, so it's not harsh, it's not brittle. And then some of the resonance that's unbeneficial, those S's and T's that slice through the mix and kind of hurt your ears, you're softening that with a de-esser after that EQ, because the order of your vocal chain matters. Each plugin affects the next one and how it sounds and how it affects the processing of your vocal. So you do want to make sure that your order makes sense as well. So if you're going to push really high, specifically on BandLab, because you have some limitations there, I would suggest following that with something to help control some of that harshness in your S's and T's. On the low end of your vocal, since it's naturally going to be a little bit thinner, it's naturally going to not have nearly as much energy there, I would suggest that you actually warm up the low end of your vocal a little bit. This is generally going to be probably between, in your case on your vocal, between 100 and 400 hertz, pocket of frequencies right there. You can actually bring back into the mix. You don't want it boomy, you don't want it muddy, but you do want some presence in that bottom end of your vocal. Otherwise, it sounds thin and brittle and bright at the top end. And you want to bring that kind of back into balance. That alone right there, just the EQ changes with a de-esser, that alone dramatically improves the quality of your vocal. Even with Apple headphones, even with just, earphones, and even just like recording into your computer, like that alone is going to dramatically make your vocal feel more expressive, easier to listen to, warmer. People can turn up the track louder because your vocal's not as harsh in the top end. So just rebalancing that high end and giving yourself a little bit more warmth without mud and boominess is going to be really, really impactful. And then since you're on the top end, you're not boosting as much. It shouldn't be as harsh, but then again, just a tasteful, again, find about 5,500 hertz on a de-esser, and then drop down the threshold until you hear some of that harshness go away. So instead of Atlas, I don't think I have a full submission for you. So just make sure you do double check. I can look. I don't have one on the board, and I don't think I've seen one. So double check. I might have an email from you, but just double check that you did a full submission, and also double check the line so that I can make sure that I can get you up in the spot. So instead of using EQ, I'll use the other one. So you still want EQ. You just want to change the settings of the EQ, right? So right now on your EQ, it's really bright and thin. So you just want to rebalance that EQ, right? So where you find like 200 hertz, 400 hertz kind of at the bottom, you can bring a little bit of that back into your vocal. And at the top of the EQ, depending on what it looks like in BandLab, on the top of the EQ where you have it boosted a lot, bring that back under control. So you're still using the EQ, but you're just changing the settings of the EQ to sound a little bit softer, a little bit more in balance, so it's not so brittle at the top end and not so thin on the bottom end. And then the next plugin that you're going to add after the EQ is going to be a de-esser. In this case, that's not always the rule. That's not always the way that you want to do it. But in this case specifically, add a de-esser after to help control some of the harshness that's a bit more typical of using Apple headphones. And then that's going to give you a better balance overall. Midnight Fury, welcome in. Good to see you. That right there alone will help a lot. So let me skip forward a little bit. And there's just one other thing on the whole production that I want to get into. But that vocal change right there is going to transform the way your vocal feels, because it's going to sound softer, warmer, more even, more balanced, as opposed to kind of jumping out of the mix with harshness. It's going to be so much better. And of course, ideal world in the near future, being able to get it, even just like a cheap mic and a cheap interface, that's going to help you out a lot too. Even if you still record in BandLab or GarageBand or something like a free service or something like that, giving you a little bit more of a frequency profile for your mic is gonna make a huge difference. Is it Peyton? Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. All right, I'm gonna get into like your last major hook. Good repetition, a great voice. The distraction from it is going to be the quality, and you can get pretty good quality with Apple headphones. It's got its limitations, but a good. I've seen some people do magic with Apple headphones, and I've actually been able to actually mix a couple tracks before in the past that were sent to me on Apple headphones, and you can do some magic with them. But you gotta kind of know where the limitations are and how to mitigate those, right? So knowing where it falls off in the end, so you don't over exaggerate. Knowing where it falls off in the bottom, so you don't over exaggerate. That is going to help a lot. Atlas, go to my profile and you're going to go to the Red app. Use your imagination because I have to be cryptic on TikTok. Go to the Red app, YT. We're live over there as well, and you can see the line. It's up on the screen the whole time. That or the purple app, which starts with a T, rhymes with which. You can kind of use your imagination. But I have to be just super cryptic on TikTok. All right, let's get into this last hook here really quick, and then we'll move. I want to know who you all are too, because I know people are switching over sometimes too. It's so much better. It's so much better. So much. Actually, I'll go back through the E's over here. Welcome over, E. I appreciate you hopping in. Yeah, it's nice over here on the dark side, the Red app. We can't talk about the Red app too much because TikTok gets jealous. But it's very nice over here. For one, it just allows us to do a little bit more. Obviously, like being able to show the line. I can show the DAW. So if we're working in Pro Tools, or I need to show specifically some EQ curve that I want to target, something that I want to be able to like show an artist that's over on these platforms. I can show them. I can show them some other things that we're doing here in the studio to kind of showcase something specifically that we actually want to talk about. I can do so much more over here, as well as the audio and visual being, eons better over here. The audio is so much better. So a lot of people like find us over on TikTok because we love you, TikTok. And then they head over here because the it's so much better. It's so much better. We love it. All right, let's. I want to get into one of these hooks here really quick, Lily, and then we'll move on to the next track. Hobbit, just let me know that you're in the chat. I want to make sure that you're here.
I'm calling love. Just see.
Not a huge deal. You can always update this stuff over time, Lily. Every once in a while, you're getting some like digital clipping and just some like this kind of breaking up and oversaturation of the whole mix. So it sounds to me like there's on the master side, it's just like hitting the limiter of the fader. It's not even necessarily maybe, I don't know if there is a limiter on there. I don't even know if there's limiter routing on BandLab. So I'm kind of doubting it. I don't think there is external bus routing or mixed bus routing or master routing over there. So this is probably one of the limitations of the platform as well that is more difficult to deal with. But the reality is that it's just like digitally clipping. So you'll just get this kind of like rattling and this breakup of the low end and some of those vocal layers when they all stack together, which just tells me that there's some digital clipping that's going on as well. So, another way to actually break down another way to actually break that down would be to like export all of these tracks and have it mixed in a different DAW. Maybe your producer is doing some of that. I'm not positive, but I would recommend at least putting it into a DAW that does have a master that you can feed stuff to and control your levels from there, so that you're mixing it individually. Valley Shell, welcome in, good to see you. Create a little bit of a better balance leading into it, because right now it's clipping and you're hearing some of that digital distortion in the mix as well. I would love to like soften that a little bit, loosen it up, get it away from that, and then set a natural ceiling. You don't need a crazy master or anything. I don't want you to worry about that, but just even setting a natural ceiling of like -1 dB, lowering the threshold till you're getting a dB to 2 dB of reduction, and that should make it nice and loud without too many issues. But yeah, I would break one thing. You're getting some distortion on the master, so making sure that you're not clipping over the master, but you do have a limiter that is making it nice and loud, but it's also keeping it from distorting digitally, is definitely going to help you out. Y'all please show some love to Lily. Lily, I love your style. I love the whole structure of what you have going on here. It's really, really well done. Once again, y'all, this song is called Hear Me Out. And it looks like there's another couple songs on platforms as well. So definitely go show some love and support. Go stream their music. Go follow on Spotify, so on and so on. Definitely show some love and support. Lily, thank you so much for sending this in. I appreciate that a lot. Let's keep it moving. Michael Anthony, welcome in. Yes, Naki. So, am I saying that correctly? Go to the description for the live stream. Absolutely. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, take it to the future. The song's already out, obviously. Take it to the future. Take it into your next record so you can hopefully get a little bit more expression out of what you're doing. But you're very, very talented. Yeah, go to the description for the live stream, Naki. You can find that over here on TikTok, or, of course, on the Red app here, just the description for the live stream. Go to that link, and then just make sure you read through everything, because there's details for the live stream. There's structure I want to make sure everyone's aware of. This is the line right here. This is the line that we have so far. I only have like 1 or 2 more songs left, maybe just 1 more left. And then here's the minimums and everything here. But just make sure you read through all the details. For whatever reason, people just skip through and they swipe to get to like the email, even though the email's at the top right where the first part is. So just please make sure you read through it all, and we'll get you in order. We'll get everything moving in the right direction. All right, let's get into this. Maybe our last track, if not maybe. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter live stream today. So let me double check a few things. Back in the chat. Welcome back, Lily. I appreciate it. All right, let's get into. This is for. Let's see. There's no link or instructions to pay. There is in the description for the live stream. Let me unless for some reason it's giving me some weird technical issues, but we have some people submit to it every week, so I gotta double check. Let me see. Hey, no worries at all. No pressure. There's never any pressure. Hopefully, the way we structure the live stream too is like ideally that anybody that submits hopefully can get some value from it, right? Or even if you don't submit, you can hopefully get some value from it just through the way that we structure the live stream. Okay, the way that we structure. Boom! Don't do that. Yeah. So yeah, it's right there. Let me see. Yeah, so literally just, yeah, it's exactly where I said. So in the description for the live stream, just scroll down. It says submit your track here. So there's a description for the whole live stream right there on the Red app. Just scroll down. It tells you what we do here. It tells you the whole consultation format. And then it says submit your track here, who the stream could help, who I am, so on and so on. Yeah, it gives you all of the details right there. So yeah, just scroll down from the live stream. You should see everything right there. I just double checked and it's all right there, just to make sure, because I don't know, sometimes the links are weird, and sometimes I know technology is weird, and sometimes they randomly move stuff. So yeah, go to the description for the live stream on the Red app, and just scroll down. You'll see submit your track here. All right, let's get into it. So I'm looking for Hobbit. Yeah, absolutely any genre. All right, let me see. And then this is our last, if not second to last one, y'all. We'll be back on tomorrow. We'll do a live stream again tomorrow. I just got to go short today, short and sweet. But we'll open up the lines again tomorrow. We're closing up here in a second. Okay, Hobbit, you're in the chat. Kursman, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, absolutely any genre, of course. We've already had a ton of variety too. It's been all over the place. I'm looking for your email. Hobbit, did you send an email? Is it under a different name potentially? Let me know. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close up the live. Close up the line here, y'all. There we go. Okay, line closed. We're gonna open up the line again tomorrow. So if y'all are wanting to submit, got you. Okay, that's under a different name. I got you. It's right here. I got your Spotify link and everything. Perfect. I got you. You're totally set to go. Totally set to go. Yeah, if y'all are wanting to submit, just make sure y'all are following. We're going to open up the lines again tomorrow, and we'll take a lot more songs. So today, we're only doing 4 or 5 songs. It's short and sweet. It's going to be really, really short live today. We're just getting on for a little bit after the work I was doing earlier today. So we'll open up the lines again tomorrow. So make sure you're following. Turn on notifications. Michael, thank you for the roses. I just saw those. I'm so sorry. Thank you for all the roses. I appreciate that a lot. And then we'll open up the line. We'll take like 10, 12 songs tomorrow, something like that. We'll go longer term. I appreciate y'all so much. So this is Hulda. I'm a fantasy folk artist that made her EP debut in November. I would love for you to listen to 1 or 2 of my tracks from EP Songbird's Lament. Here are the links to it. Okay. And then let me know which one. We're gonna do one tonight. So let me know which one Hobbit you think would be the most beneficial for me to get an idea of what you do. But I'm really, really excited to get into this. Really, really excited. Let's do the second one. Beautiful. Sounds good. Let's get into it. Could you recommend any decent free DAW? I mean, it depends on the computer you have. I mean, I think to be honest with you, I think GarageBand's pretty damn good. You know, BandLab's decent. BandLab has a lot of routing limitations that are pretty frustrating, as most free DAWs too. But there's a lot of decent free DAWs out there now. There's another one I can't think of the name of right now. But honestly, if you get a MacBook, I would just go with GarageBand for free. And then if you ever want to upgrade, you have a natural upgrade, upline to Logic for only $200 with unlimited updates. And Logic is fabulous. It's fantastic. It's amazing. So if you want to it's a good way to just start getting yourself in that world. Get GarageBand for free. And then whenever you feel like you have the capacity to, you don't have to spend $700 or, $800 on Ableton or whatever. You can, or even, at least $35, $40 a month on Pro Tools and stuff like that. You can start free and upgrade to Logic. I feel like it's a really good natural progression. Since I feel like I need more notes on that one. Perfect. I'm the singer and songwriter. My producer, Silgor, is the one that produced and did all the magic. Fantastic. Let's get into it. I'm so excited. Any other details you want me to know, please drop it in the chat. Lines are closed for right now, and then we'll open up the lines again tomorrow. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, even just for a little bit today. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate it a lot. Let's get into it. This is called The Shield by Hulda Elira. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Let's get into it. Yeah, we are using Squarespace. There is a way, but it's usually through other forms that require logins. And so we've been doing Atlas. We've been doing this live for like 3 years. It'll be 3 years next month. It'll be 3 years next month that we've been doing this live stream. We've tried like 30 different ways of building it out and stuff like that. And we Web3 forms. We've also tried Google Forms. We've also tried there's another one that we had, something with a T. I can't remember what it was. We tried a couple different forms, but it made people put in information and made people have to have their email logged in, and not everyone wants to have their email logged in or sent. So we've tried a couple other things. Shoot me a message on it, or shoot me a YouTube link about it or something like that. I'll look into it more, but because the only problem with a lot of those forms was the requirement for them to have to log in, and that was annoying. We tried a couple other things, and it was and then a couple other paid platforms too, and it ended up being the simplest way. Ooh, I like that. Very cool. It's a good mix. I'll look into it, Atlas. I'll look into it. Emily, welcome in. Great voice. Really, really great voice. Of course. Little like Aurora vibe a little bit. Just in like structure. It's cool. Yeah. It's cool. I like it a lot.
We will sing for tomorrow. We will fight for that drink. We will not buckle. We will not yield. So stand behind my shield. So stand behind my shield. So stand behind the shield, my friend.
It's like a Disney movie.
Let this be the end. My heart has been broken. I've lost all my charms, so I will not lose you, my brother in arms. So please just stay behind the shield. Just
Right, Atlas.
shield, my friend.
Love those harmonics too. Love the harmonics. Y'all, please show some love to Hulda Elira. Beautiful, amazing voice, great layering, great structure. So really nice mix as well. Very like open, contemporary mix, like great for like Broadway and shows and TV and stuff like that. So like commercial sync and stuff like that. This is great for just structurally speaking. It's really, really well done. Y'all, please show some love to Hulda. Let's get into it. Let's dive into it from the top. Let's dive into some details. It's very, very expressive. And I mean all this in a good way. Expressive and dramatic. It's got such a crescendo. I can't talk. I can't even. Whatever. I'll move on. It has such great movement, such great anticipation as the dynamics build. It's fantastic. Let's run it from the top. Let's get into some details. But like it says here, y'all, the line is closed for today, but we'll open up the lines again tomorrow. We're a fresh batch of amazing new music. So definitely tap in. Make sure you're following if you haven't already. And we'll get into some music here in a second. BG's in the building. Kiss girl, I just want to say, hey, we miss you too, BG. This is right up your alley. Y'all, please show some love to BG. That's one of the family. It's so good to see that name pop up in the chat. Yep, it's so good. Let's run it from the top. Shout out to Hulda. Once again, another song today that was released. So if you like what you hear, please go stream the track, go add it to your playlist, go like it, go follow on Spotify, all that good stuff, and show some love and support.
Dawn is upon us as we rise with the sun. Try to keep your head up.
Absolutely.
We've already won.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Of course, anytime.
Look at the banner, the gold shines for us, and hope
You as well.
that
You as well.
tomorrow will still raise our cup.
Great introduction of layering here. It's fantastic. It's really, really well done. This is a very well balanced mix as well. I don't remember. I think you said your producer did some magic on it, whoever the producer is. did a really good job building out these dynamics. It feels very compartmentalized, very clean, very distinct. You can hear all of there's a lot of noise, right? There's a lot of energy in this mix and a lot of different elements that fill it out, but you can hear very clear distinction of what all these elements are. You can hear their placement. Sounds, oh yeah, Silgor is fantastic. Wouldn't have done it without him. Yeah, you can hear everything that's going on, the strings and the movement and the guitars, the vocal layers. They're very distinct in the mix, which to me is fantastic and difficult to do when there's a lot of different things happening at the same time. So props to them.
Ready, one. Just look at the banner, the gold shines for us, and hope that tomorrow will still raise our cups. Just stand behind the shield, my friend. I will not let this be the end.
Very nice.
My heart has been broken, I've lost
Something's
all
going on.
my
Welcome, man.
charms, so I will not lose you, my brother in arms.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Please just stay behind the shield, just
What's up, Trey? Welcome in. I haven't seen how you're approaching content or anything like that. But I would really lean into what, like, as far as like your aesthetic, as far as the way that you're like promoting your music, I would lean heavy into the aesthetic that you want your music placed in, right? I think that's one thing that a lot of people miss out on, and a lot of people just don't do, is they don't really know where they want their music played, and they don't know who they want to listen to their music, or there's, I want everyone to hear it or whatever, but that's not the reality of how music works, right? Like, there's an audience for your music, there's a commercial audience for your music and a consumer audience for your music, and I think it's important to kind of know what that avatar is, not from a really salesy marketing standpoint necessarily, but also just understanding, like, how do I promote this? How do I get this out to people? And I feel like one thing that you can do that would be really interesting is finding movies that you feel have the aesthetic that you're looking to get your music in, as far as placement goes, as far as commercial work goes, and put your song underneath it. So if there's like a really, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a scene. It could be an animated movie or just a live action movie, and take scenes off of YouTube, take scenes off of social media that are just like powerful, aesthetic, really visually powerful and impactful scenes, and then place your music underneath it. In fact, I'm gonna give a loose example that's not like the best example. It's not the most connected, but one of the things that I did last year, and I just reposted it again not that long ago, but I did this last year, is I took clips. So I do a lot of synth work, a lot of like synth session work. That's a lot of what I do for my job, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I love synths. And so what I did in order to hopefully try to get a few more clients of just like tracking session work as a session musician, was I actually, and maybe get some score stuff done, was I posted a clip of my favorite movie, which is Interstellar. It's my favorite movie in the world. And I posted a clip from Interstellar when they're about to go into the black hole. If you've seen it, you'll kind of know the part that I'm talking about. And I put my synths underneath it. So I like rescored it with my synth work. And literally within like 2 days, I had like 2 more clients for synth work just from posting something like that. So not only is it like cool on social media, but it's good professionally for you. Like, hey, I want to get into movies. I want to score. I want my music to be in an animated film. I want it to be on Broadway. I want to be able to co-write with other great collaborators and stuff like that. Then you need to kind of put your music in their world. If you don't, then no one will ever know, right? You'll just constantly be like, hey, we'll go stream it, but you got to kind of place it out there, right? And in fact, after I reposted this, I posted it like 2 years ago. I reposted the same thing again, and I got a call the next day from someone who wants me to kind of be on their list of rotation of people to potentially score some films. They've been doing some films and some TV work on like Peacock and Tubi and Paramount, I think was the 3 platforms he was talking about. He's like, I want you in my rotation of composers in case we get a film that comes up that needs like 80 sound design and synthwave and stuff like that. I want you to be there. That came literally from that post, and the post was not viral, right? It was not like I got hundreds of thousands of views. It had like 1,200 views, but the right people saw it and it led to opportunities, right? So I want you to have that same thing, and that to me is just placing your music in that world. So I don't know what this would look like, or how, what movie exactly would be within the aesthetic that you're talking about. It could be clips from Narnia. It could be clips from I don't know, Outlander or whatever. It could be anything, right? It could be anything. Find some scenes that visually are really impactful, and then you're like, POV, I scored the ending scene to Outlander season 6. I don't know, whatever. I'm making stuff up. You can kind of get the idea there. Did you post it on YouTube and then send it to them? Or oh, they just found it. It was on TikTok. They found me on TikTok. And now I've worked with them a couple times. They've hired me to track guitars for them. They brought me in for some synth stuff, and then potentially just on the rotation for some commercial placement stuff, potentially in the future. Which is again, that's the stuff I'm really excited about. But yeah, it literally just came through people. Like any opportunity that I've had has just come from putting myself out there and really trying to figure out, what's up, Austin? Good to see you, man. Really trying to figure out, like, who do I want to have my music? And I think that a lot of producers get in their own way. A lot of artists get in their own way of really working really too tight to their peers. I mentioned this earlier on in the live. I don't know if you're here, but like producers that produce to impress producers and songwriters that write to impress songwriters and, you know, rappers that rap to impress rappers instead of actually trying to put their music in front of the people that they want to hear it, which is not typically their peers, right? Like I don't want to just impress a bunch of synth people. I want the right person to be like, oh, I need that in a movie, or I need that within my production structure, and they hire me for those services, right? So I would be like, how can I create visuals to this? Whether in your own content, you could really niche down your own content to represent that, have kind of like fantasy style content that feels really in line with your aesthetic and your music, get really creative, like go out into a forest and a field and something like that and get some, you know, turn on cinematic mode in your iPhone or whatever and find some interesting ways to promote yourself in that vein as well. That keeps cutting out, but yeah, Russ, it's just TikTok. It's just TikTok being TikTok. It's unfortunately the way it is sometimes. It's been super glitchy today. Last couple live streams has been super glitchy. Front room, good to see you. Front room, I appreciate you hopping in. Okay, let's dig a little bit deeper. Hey, greetings, front room. It's so good to see you in here. I appreciate you so much for tapping in. Yeah, TikTok super. If it gets super glitchy, just head over to the Red app. The Red app tends to be a little bit less glitchy over there. Beautiful layers, beautiful structure, and I love. This happens a couple times in the song. I love the harmonics on the guitar too. It's a great balance in here. All right, let me skip forward a little bit. Let's get to the outro here. Yeah, we gotta get it in front of more people. It's just you need the right opportunity, the right eyes. I can't talk, y'all. Jesus, the right eyes on your music. Because you got the talent. I mean, I could really see you writing for musicals. I could see you doing work in Broadway. I could see like whether or not you take the lead as the artist. Oftentimes there's more money in the behind the scenes. It's something I've found, right? As someone who is an artist, but it's not something I really promote. The whole of my business is the background, right? Whether that's session work, like doing session work in studio, whether that's full productions, mixing and mastering, whatever it is, like it all comes from the background. So you might find, as much as you have the potential to be really great as a forefront, artist, you also can get so much work of like writing music and scoring for plays, small films, festivals, stuff like that. So much potential. I have a degree. Nature, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I have a degree in musical theater, so it makes sense. Okay, come on. That makes all this. That makes all this. All of the dots are connecting now. That's beautiful. I love it. And then here's like my last practice. So we showed a lot of love, and this is really well done. It's so good. The last thing that I would say, and this goes back to who do you want to hear this music as a balance of a mix for a consumer. This is really good. Like your vocal cuts through clean and bright and pretty dry over the top. But you do get swallowed up by the music a little bit a couple times. And that's something that you really won't hear nearly as much of in commercial, and you won't hear nearly as much of in a score for a film where someone is singing, like a musical, right? Even think like Disney movies, right? Like Moana and Frozen and like stuff like that, right? Like you're going to hear a powerful top line, a really powerful, prominent top line over this whole song. And so for me, I want to make sure that even as the dynamics build incredibly, the guitars fill up, the strings are going to the higher octave, these beautiful tremolos, these amazing movements. I love the way it sounds, all of it. We just have to make sure that in the process of all of this energy and this noise building up on the outside of the mix, that we still maintain prominence for that vocal. And sometimes it does get kind of encroached on. It steps on the toes of the vocal just a little bit. So I would just, in your future records, prioritize, especially because you want this to be heard by people who can place it, not just consumers and just not just other people that will like the music. I would just make sure that vocal maintains its prominence, a little bit like tasteful mid-side processing. Like one easy way to do this is have like let's say a string. I think the strings in the acoustic guitar are doing the most. It's tiny little detail. And what I'm talking about is incredibly nuanced. It's not like this sounds bad at all. But some tasteful mid-side processing can help. So like on the strings itself, pulling out just the center channel between like 600 hertz and 1200 hertz, not in the stereo at all, but just in the center channel where a lot of the fundamental frequencies of the vocal lies, can give you some clarity where that vocal sits. There's not really anything stepping on its toes. It really gets pushed and positioned to the outside. Small little things like that can help just tastefully. And then of course, just automating some levels as well. There's nothing wrong with writing the fader and automating that vocal. So as the energy increases in the structure of the song, that we push that vocal right over the top of everything, as long as there's headroom for it, as long as there's space for that to happen, then you can just keep that vocal at the forefront even as you increase energy. So your vocal doesn't stay right here. Energy gets built around it and it gets kind of swallowed by the mix. But beyond that, beautiful, fantastic, fantastic job. Let's get to the outro. So well done. And the production's gorgeous. Musicianship, gorgeous. I love so much about this.
Stand behind a shield, my friend.
Great range as well. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Y'all, please show some love to Hulda Elira. Beautiful, beautiful job. Amazing voice, great writing, great production, great structure. I love the mix. There's so much that I really, really love about this. Y'all definitely need to go show some love and support. You can find that track, The Shield, on Spotify, whatever DSP that you use. Of course, anytime. Go stream it, go add it to your playlist, go like it, go follow, all that fun stuff. Definitely make sure that you follow A Hobbit's Tale right here as well. And just a quick note, this is a sidebar to all of the quality stuff that we're talking about. I would suggest, I don't know what is, you can tell me actually really quick if you want to, what is A Hobbit's Tale? Like what is that platform right here? What is that page? Is that a separate page kind of for something else that you're doing? Or is that just the page that you have currently for what you're doing? Do you have a Hulda Elira page? It's my fantasy content page. Okay. I would suggest, I haven't seen, I cosplay and create fantasy content. Okay. That's interesting. Because here's what I'll say. I think most people who are finding the artistry side of it are going to want to connect to you as an artist. On the commercial side, the labels, the agents, the sync agents, commercial players there, they want to connect with a real artist, not a blanket page, not like just a brand or just an aesthetic. So what I'm kind of thinking about is I do feel like it would be beneficial probably for you to have an artist. And again, I haven't seen, actually I can pull it up on my phone here. Hold on. Oh, you're crushing it. You're crushing it. Okay. And you are utilizing your music in the content, right? I think that's what I'm seeing here too. Okay, cool. I would suggest, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, yeah, you have some really, really good stuff on here. I'm kind of curious if it would be, there'd be more, what would you say? More translation to streams, connecting it to your artist, right? Because you do have your artist page on there, but it's not, they're like seeing a name, seeing a username, and then it not being connected to the artist that's actually on there and the sounds that are being linked to the artist page. So I'm trying to find that line of like keeping what you're doing because it's kind of worked for you, and also making sure that people find you as an artist and that translates, that when you post about something and you get 40,000 views, a million views or whatever, that it does translate a little bit more connected into some of your music that's actually on platforms. Yeah, to me it's not like, yeah, it's I'm just brainstorming that in my mind right now. What's up, love? Thanks for tapping in. It's good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. Because I'm like, man, I wish that people could just follow Hulda, because that connects directly, right? That connects directly to everything that you're doing, and still keep doing everything that you're doing. Like, it could even be like your username is still like a Hobbit's Tale, right? Yeah. A Hobbit's Tale is still your username, but your actual name on there is Hulda Elira, which still feels, I still feel like that's very in line. Something to think about. I'm not trying to change everything that you're doing, because it's obviously working for you over there, and you are getting some streams too. Like, you have 1,600 monthly listeners. Like, you're doing a good job. But I feel like it would be nice for when you're posting your music for people to have a very cohesive image of what you're doing, and also for people that are finding your music professionally. I think it could be beneficial. But I don't want to. Again, I'm not trying to change everything you're doing. Y'all show some love. 100%. Yeah, I'm throwing it out there just because it could be something to think about. Either starting your own artist page, starting your own artist page that is just for your music, and you still promote it the way that you are, and then you can even tag the other page in your fantasy post. If that post does well, at least it's linked to your artist. There's some interesting ways to do it, but that's obviously more. Takes more structure and takes more planning. That's hard to do. Okay, y'all, that's going to close us up for today. I love and appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Just a quick reminder before we hop off as well. Shout out to everybody that sent in music. Just a quick reminder before we get off, though, for those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time engineer, producer, and session musician. I've done that for about 13 plus years. I'm also a classically trained musician. So if you are ever interested in any of the services that I offer, whether that's session work for analog synthesis, tracking keys, synths, live drums, acoustic, electric, or bass guitar, vocals, etc., or you need a full production package or a mixing and mastering engineer, shoot me a message on Instagram or TikTok, or you can reach out through the contact form at theobsidiankey.com, which you can find all of that information at my link tree. Make sure that you're followed on here and subscribed on Twitch and YouTube as well. And hopefully we'll see y'all very, very soon. We will open up the lines again tomorrow, so we'll have a brand new batch of music, brand new artists that are coming in. Some OGs will come in as well. We'll open up the lines again as we start out the week to kick things off really, really strong. So I love and appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for showing up today. Hopefully we'll see y'all very, very soon.